Well, the Brewers wrapping up a very successful road trip through Arizona and Colorado. 6-1, averaging over 7 runs a game. And the Brewers return back to Miller Park with the best record in the National League. 17 games over 500. Hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. The Brewers and the Nationals. Game 1 of this 3-game series here tonight. Good to be back here inside Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We have Sophia Minard as our reporter here tonight. Great pregame show, an hour long to get us set up for tonight's matchup. It'll be Matt Garza against Gio Gonzalez, and it's like fishing in a barrel right now with good things to talk about with the Brewers. So why don't we dive into the two guys maybe the best chance to be all-stars this year, and that's Lucroy and Gomez.
You know, these two guys not only should be all-stars and starting in the all-star game, but you got to be talking about these two guys as far as MVP candidates at this point in the season, as good as the Brewers have been doing. Carlos Gomez all season long, not just what he does on the field. You know he can hit. He plays tremendous defense, but what he brings inspirationally to this ball club, I mean, always having a good day. Energy, highly upbeat, and certainly Carlos Gomez right now is sitting in third place as far as outfielders go, and Jonathan Lucroy just continues to pound the baseball, second in the league in batting average. He just hitting the ball all over the diamond, and not just offensively, but think about how good the starting pitching and the bullpen have been for the Brewers, getting these guys through games, defensively blocking pitches, throwing the baseball. Both of these guys deserve to be starters in the All-Star game in Minneapolis.
Well, the latest release of the voting came out today. Jonathan Lucroy actually moved up a notch. He passed Buster Posey and is now second among National League catchers behind Yadier Molina. And then Carlos Gomez moved into a starting spot. So Brewers fans, your voice has been heard. Keep it up. Keep voting at Brewers.com. You can vote up to 25 times per email account. As of right now, Gomez would be a starter at the Midsummer Classic in Minneapolis. Speaking of Gomez, he speaks for himself. Craig Deshawn will get us to a nice little package on Gomez, who was mic'd up for batting practice today. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
A Monday nighter here in Milwaukee at Miller Park. The Nationals and Brewers ready to get their three-game series underway. Hi, everybody. I'm Craig Kashan as we welcome you back to the broadcast here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Did you hear Carlos Gomez is streaking? That's right. He's got an 18-game hitting streak going. He's reached base safely in 35 straight games. And as we showed you earlier on Brewers Live, we put a mic on him during batting practice. Here's the animated version of Carlos Gomez.
Ah! It's not you, it's not you, it's not you. Hey! Oh yeah. You been working out? Get on, baby, get on, baby. Triple. No más, doble.
Carlos Gomez, the Gold Glover, moving up to number 3 now among outfielders for the All-Star game. We're getting closer to first pitch. Matt Garza ready to roll for the Brooker on the mound against the Nationals.
Gomez reaching up, and he caught it. That is gone. It is way gone. At the wall, and she's gone. That ball is up and up.
Yeah, we are inching our way closer to the Midsummer Classic, and the Brewers could be very well represented. Great to have you with us, and great to be back in Milwaukee. 72 degrees. The roof is closed up for now. Kind of a hazy night. Got a little bit of rain in the area. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder, Sophia Minard. As we get set for game one, there is Matt Williams, skipper of the Washington Nationals, in his first season. And the Nationals winning back-to-back games against the Atlanta Braves, which has been their nemesis team. And they're coming off A series split with Atlanta. The Associated Bank Washington batting order. It's Span, Rendon, and Worth at the top. Adam LaRoche, Ryan Zimmerman, Ian Desmond in the middle of the order. Danny Espinosa will play second with Jose Lobaton and Gio Gonzalez rounding it out. And there is Matt Garza back at Miller Park, making start number 16 of the season, Rock, and he is hoping to carry it going here for the Brewers. They've played well lately.
Yeah, he's had 5 consecutive quality starts, and in that stretch a 241 earned run average, and is carrying a 2-0 record in the month of June with a 2.00 earned run average in 4 starts. So he's on a roll right now.
Garza starts Denard, Span with strike 1, and away we go from Miller Park, Milwaukee on a Monday night. It starts a 7-game homestand. The Brewers will have 3 with the Nationals, then 4 with the Colorado Rockies. After a very successful road trip, going 6-1 on the road trip. Well, the Nationals had dropped the first 2 games in that series against Atlanta, and they were reeling against the Braves again this season, but 2 wins at the end of that series has them thinking about a hot streak. They are close to getting back to 100%. They've had some health problems this season. Noticeably absent from their lineup is Bryce Harper and Wilson Ramos, their terrific catcher, and both are expected back here in the next week to 10 days or so. Both are currently in minor league rehab assignments at this point.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why the Nationals got off to a slow start. They've been very streaky. They haven't had their entire roster together much of the season this year, but they are starting to creep toward 100% healthy, and they are hoping that they're going to be able to stay in this race.
Good start for Garza as he strikes out Denard Span, one of the toughest players in the National League to strike out. Goes about every 11 at bats without a K, but Garza punches him out for out number 1. Well, joining us throughout the night from our Brewers Live pre and post game show is Jerry Augustine, the former Brewer lefty. And Augie, you got a great seat down there, man. We're going to be able to talk pitching, and it should be a good matchup with Garza and Gio Gonzalez tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better. I'm really going to enjoy the view from over here and being on the field 11 and watching these guys pitch.
Augie's going to be with us throughout the game. What do you have just right away, Augie, on Matt Garza? What have you seen from him? And what are you expecting of him tonight?
Well, the one thing I've really noticed about Matt Garza, and especially in the last 5 or 6 starts, he's really gotten a good pace and rhythm. And that usually comes with good command of the fastball. It seems like he's got better command, a little bit more confidence. And when you do that, you get on the mound, you don't walk around the mound, don't take your time. You get the ball, you go to mound, get your sign and go. And that pace and rhythm has really helped him. Secondly, that breaking ball, I'll tell you what, it's been really efficient in his last 3 and 4 starts. And I see Matt Garza more, rather than trying to strike guys out, pitching more to contact, and it's really helped him.
And there's a ball in play on contact from Rendon, and 2 quick outs for Matt Garza. All right, Rock, how about the Brewers defense tonight, brought to you by Menards with the left-handed starter Gonzalez on the mound.
Yeah, Ricky Weeks gets his 3rd consecutive start. Scooter Jeanette sits this one out. Davis, Gomez, Braun, Ramirez, Segura, Weeks, and Reynolds, and Jonathan Lucroy back behind home plate. The Brewers tied for 8th in the National League. And one thing, just to pick on what Jerry was talking about, always important for Garza, when he seems to struggle, it's early in the game. 1st inning, 2nd inning is when normally he gives up most of his runs.
Well, 7 pitches thus far to get the first 2 outs. Here is Jason Worth, one of the signature pieces of this Washington lineup. Worth has been slumping as of late. Ian Desmond and Jason Worth have had their troubles lately. Matt Williams, their manager, even acknowledged as much. And talking about these guys needing a day off, but this is a matchup of first place teams here. Nationals leading by 1.5 games in the National League East, and of course the Brewers up 5.5 in the National League Central. This is not the series, or at least not the day today, to get one off. And this is going to be a 10-pitch inning for Matt Garza, right on cue from Jerry Augustine. Pitching to contact, 3 up, 3 down. The Nats go in order. Nationals go in order in the first inning with a strikeout against Matt Garza. And now the Brewers coming up. Ron Renneke just picking up his 300th career win as a big league manager, all with Milwaukee. He's in year 4. Won a division title with this club in 2011, and they have their sights set on another one here in 2014. It's Weeks, Braun, and Lucroy at the top. Gomez, Ramirez, and Davis in the middle, with Reynolds, Segura, and Garza rounding out the Associated Bank batting order. And Rock, it'll be Gio Gonzalez, just coming back from a shoulder injury.
Yeah, he was on a disabled list for about a month on the DL from May 18th to June 18th. Second start since his return last time out against the Houston Astros. Picked up a win, gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings. And the Nationals are going to be keeping a very close eye on his pitch count. He went on the disabled list with a sore shoulder.
It'll be the 3rd consecutive left-handed starter the Brewers have faced. As Ricky Weeks leads off, he's been in the lineup each of the last 3 days, and Gonzalez starts him with strike 1. I would imagine that would be beneficial for a lineup to have a little bit of consistency, especially this side of the lineup. Guys like Reynolds and Ricky Weeks getting 3 straight starts because of the lefties on the mound. As Weeks' skies went out into shallow right, Span will make the call and the catch for out number 1.
Well, let's check out the Nationals defense, brought to you by Menards. They're near the bottom, next to last in fielding percentage, but they have been much better as of late. Last 14 games, they've only committed 1 error. And you see 3rd most errors in all the National League, but much better defensively as of late.
Now they're in a little bit of a transition. You see Zimmerman out in left field. He is normally a 3rd baseman and will probably be coming back to 3rd base once Bryce Harper returns in a week to 10 days or so.
He likes it out there, though. He said as much.
Yeah. Same as Ryan Braun. Braun came up as a 3rd baseman. He moved out to left field originally and said, I'll never go back to 3rd base. He enjoys it out there himself. Now a right fielder. Braun back in the 2 spot in the order. And the Brewers offense has thrived since he's been put in that spot. Not only put Braun batting 2nd, but it put Lucroy hitting 3rd. Lucroy's been the best hitter for the Brewers this year overall. And then it had Gomez in the cleanup spot at that point. Gomez has really thrived in that cleanup spot. So all the pieces in place right now for Ron Renneke.
Man, Braun, Lucroy, they've been able to get on base on a regular basis. So guys have been on base for Gomez, Ramirez. Both of those guys driving in runs. Davis has been swinging a bat. So the Brewers offense has been as good right now as it has been in a couple of years.
Power up and down the lineup. Got that home run threat in every spot among the 8 position players. Braun had to come out of yesterday's game in the 9th inning. He tweaked his ankle. And it wasn't expected to be serious, and it wasn't. The Brewers had optional batting practice today after a long road trip. And Braun didn't hit, but says he's good to go for tonight's game. It will be interesting to see about Frankie Rodriguez, who also tweaked his ankle in the middle of his save yesterday in Colorado. We'll have to wait and see if K-Rod is available if we get to a save situation. Ryan's still dealing with that nerve damage in the thumb. That's flared up a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but overall he says his body feels healthy. He feels as good as he's felt in a long time, and that's a testament to Ron Renneke and Ryan Braun being honest with each other in those occasional days off that matter.
Yeah, rolled his ankle just a little bit. Had to leave the ball game yesterday in the 9th inning, but good to see him back in the lineup today.
And Braun chases one in the dirt. A breaking ball from Gonzalez. Lobaton secures it at first. 2 up and 2 down. That'll bring up Jonathan Lucroy. Well, Lucroy about as good as it gets offensively among National League catchers, and you could throw MLB catchers in that group as well, but he leads all of Major League catchers in batting average and slugging percentage and extra base hits. And he's been one of the most productive hitters, not just among catchers in the big leagues, but across the board.
And this is a stat I love to throw out. More extra base hits for Lucroy this year than strikeouts. I mean, that's an incredible statistic when you combine, the slugging percentage with his ability to make good contact. One of the toughest guys in the league to strike out. A clean-shaven Jonathan Lucroy tonight.
Had a nice chat with Lucroy on our Brewers Live pregame show today. We appreciate him spending a little time with us. And when you want to interview Lucroy, you got to go to his workshop, right? So we did it in the batting cage.
Yep, that's where they all feel most comfortable, right?
Thought it was very interesting today talking with Lucroy. And we've mentioned this before, but he had just one scholarship offer out of high school. That was from Louisiana Lafayette, where he ended up playing his college ball. And I asked him, did you get a lot better, or do you feel like you were overlooked? He said, I felt like I was overlooked. I hit 500 in high school, but I was a small catcher. And at that time, they were looking for size. They were looking for Bill Schroeder-sized catchers in the early 2000s. Lucroy just muscles one into right field, a base hit.
Well, Bill Schroeder never was able to do that. Roll a breaking ball between first and second. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of the thing. I mean, if you're not a big, bulky guy and you're not a guy that's going to hit a ton of home runs, particularly in high school, they kind of overlook you a little bit. But Lucroy's always been able to hit. He's always been able to, make contact, and he has improved incredibly a lot as a defensive catcher. And you can see the way he shoots the ball all over the diamond. That makes him very difficult to pitch to and difficult to defend.
Lucroy and LaRoche comparing beards over there. LaRoche is the winner at this point. So here's Carlos Gomez. He's got a couple of long streaks still in progress. He's hit in 18 consecutive games. Gomez has an on-base streak right now of 35 in a row. If he gets on base here today and extends it to 36, that'll be the fourth longest in franchise history. He's got to go through Ronnie Belliard, Paul Molitor, Fernando Vina. Scott Posednik is the franchise leader with 47 consecutive games. And always up there hacking is Carlos Gomez.
Yeah, and that on-base safely streak involves walks, getting hit by a pitch along with base hits, so he is drawing some walks. Yeah, 317 batting average and a 382 on base percentage.
And if you're wondering what the major league record is, well, Gomez has a long way to go. That would be Ted Williams, 1949, reached base in 84 consecutive games, the Splendid Splinter. One ball, two strikes on Gomez. And Lucroy takes off. Gomez pulls it foul. Picked the right pitch to run on, a curveball. And you talk about Gomez, Rod, during this streak. It's been a hard streak as well. He's hit for a high average. He's driven in runs. Remember, he missed 2 games as well with a hamstring injury, so he's really not even running at 100%, and yet he's still productive and one of the focal points of this offense.
And you always see him, from time to time, he will cut down on his swing with 2 strikes.
Slow roller to third. That is Rendon. It goes to second for the easy way, and that will retire the side. Scoreless after 1. We move to the second. Now, and the Nationals coming up against Matt Garza. All-Star game coming July 15th exclusively on Fox. And here is the Feltco All-Star voting update. The National League just released their numbers today. Carlos Gomez has moved inside the top 3, has bumped Giancarlo Stanton out. So you got Yasiel Puig, the leading vote getter in the outfield, McCutchen and Gomez. Aramis Ramirez now the starter at third base. He has zoomed up the standings. Congratulations to Ramirez at this point. Still a couple of weeks here to vote. Don't forget you have the Home Run Derby on ESPN, 7 p.m. Central on Monday, and then Tuesday it's the All-Star game on Fox. And you can vote through July 3rd at MLB.com, and you might have Gomez and Lucroy and Aramis Ramirez. So keep voting.
Yeah.
Don't sit on what you've done so far.
Yeah, not much time left. I mean, no reason to procrastinate.
Brewers have not had a third baseman make the All-Star team since Jeff Cirillo did in the mid-90s, as Adam LaRoche with a base hit on the first pitch from Garza.
Yeah, LaRoche has always been a quality hitter. He likes to use the opposite field. That pitch going away from him and able to stay on top of it, let the ball travel a little bit. Oh, a nice, easy, sweet swing from Adam LaRoche. And once again, hitting over 300 this year.
Well, he's a big fan of Duck Dynasty, and he is all in with the look. Remember last year we were there, and he had all the Duck Dynasty guys at the ballpark.
Yeah.
And they all walked out together, and you couldn't tell which one was the big league baseball player. So runner at first, here's Zimmerman. The Nationals left fielder, Ryan Zimmerman. He did take some ground balls at third base today, so he'll probably be heading back to the infield. Those who cover the Nationals say Zimmerman is enjoying the outfield and wondering what that move's going to be when Bryce Harper returns.
Yeah, he says, Zimmerman, that the burden of knowing that he really can't throw very well from third base has been weighing on his mind and has affected him. He doesn't feel like it's a big deal out in left field. You don't have to have that big arm playing left field, and he likes it out there. Doesn't want to go back, but he will, he says.
And Zimmerman turns on that one, pulls it foul. Zimmerman was the first of that terrific 05 draft class to make it to the big leagues. That was a class that included Ryan Braun. Braun was the 5th pick overall that year. Zimmerman was first up, and Washington had a very poor team that year. Zimmerman, kind of a hometown kid from Virginia, and they put a lot on his plate at a very young age, and he has responded very well. He's been a good player for the Washington Nationals, the face of their franchise, and now that they've started to play better baseball, they went to the playoffs 2 years ago. 19 starts in left field since Harper went on the disabled list.
Yeah, before he hurt his shoulders, he was one of the best third basemen in the game. I mean, he had great range, a good throwing arm, very soft hands, and just can't throw anymore.
And when he does throw, it's usually from down under, sidearm sling over there. And Garza misses, so he walks Zimmerman after a clean first inning. Just 10 pitches. Matt Garza gives up a single and a walk, and 2 on with nobody out.
Well, Garza's issue, as we talked about in the first inning, has been the big inning early in the game. Might not be the first inning, maybe the second or third. So in danger here, needs a ground ball to get a double play.
Here's the slumping Ian Desmond coming off a tough series against Atlanta, and he cuts and misses. Desmond just 2 for his last 16. And probably most alarming in that is the fact that he has struck out 10 times in those last 16 at-bats. And has struck out 6 consecutive times over the last 2 games. But he lines this one into left, squared one up. Davis coming up with it, and they'll hold LaRoche. So the bases are loaded with nobody out as Desmond whistles one into left field. So much for a slump.
Yeah, fastball location. That was right down the middle on an 0-1 pitch. Actually, slider that stayed up in the strike zone. First pitch was a slider out of the strike zone. Desmond couldn't hold up. He went. That one hung up in the strike zone, and he able to hammer it into left field. So bases loaded, hit too hard to allow LaRoche to score. Bases loaded, nobody out.
They got a single by LaRoche. Zimmerman walked, and Desmond with a single. And here comes Danny Espinosa, switch hitting second baseman. Jerry Augustine down in the camera well with us. Former big league pitcher. How do you work yourself out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation, Augie?
Well, you got to get strike one. You know, you got to get ahead of hitters. That's the big thing, and try to keep the ball down in the zone. If you get ahead of a hitter, now you can use that breaking ball efficiently, but you got to get ahead with the good fastball down.
There is a good fastball there.
Well, and the other thing you can't do is try to, keep the Nationals off the board completely. I mean, you got to figure one run's going to score. So if you keep that in your mind, what you're attempting to do at this point is to keep Zimmerman from scoring.
That's right, Rock. And the thing you do is you go one hitter at a time. You can't worry about the guys on the base. If you get the hitter out, good things will happen.
Espinosa, little half swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Mike Winters, the crew chief, raises the thumb on him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And an easy call for him. Certainly win. Garza could use a strikeout here. Espinosa batting 7th in the Nationals lineup, so you got a position player next in Jose Lobaton, and then the pitcher Gonzalez. So there is a way out, but it starts right here with Espinosa. 1-2. Breaking ball missed.
And no reason to think that you can't throw a pitch in the dirt. I mean, you got to know that Lucroy is going to be able to block it. With the bases loaded, he's proven over and over again he can do that consistently. So no reason to think you got to hang a slider. You're going to throw it, especially in a count like this, bouncing in dirt. That's exactly what he did.
Brewers are set up for a double play ball here. Garza deals the 2-2, and it's down and in again. Another block by Lucroy. And the count goes full, and now Garza going to be forced to come in there. Nowhere to put Danny Espinosa. Espinosa has struggled in spots like this all season. Garza hopes to continue that trend. Washington as a team has had their trouble with runners in scoring position, and that is a called strike 3. Back to the fastball, Augie. And Garza strikes out Espinosa for the first out of the inning.
And you know one thing, BA and Rock, the one thing you try to do when you're in that situation, you got to take one hitter at a time, but sometimes early in the ball game, and Rock, you referred to it, where he gets in trouble early in the game and gives up a big inning, is because you get guys on base and you try to do too much. You get a little anxious out there. You try to go on a little bit of a rush pace. You got to stay in the same pace that's a controlled pace that you feel comfortable at and make your pitches.
And it always helps when you have a catcher who can frame a pitch pretty well. I think Lucroy stole that pitch on the corner right there.
Lobaton takes a ball inside. They'll ask if he went. He did not. Able to check his swing. Lucroy is the best. If you go to fangraphs.com, it's a cool website for all kind of interesting statistics. And Lucroy is a guy that steals more strikes than any catcher in the big leagues. Meaning pitches that on our Fox tracks or on the regular grid for the strike zone that show up as balls, Lucroy gets more of those called for strikes. And he just might have gotten one there against Espinosa.
Yeah, all about framing the pitch and allowing the umpire to get a good look at it too. He stays low. He gets himself in a nice tight ball. Umpires never really complain about not being able to see pitches with Lucroy back there.
That's Mark Wegner calling the balls and strikes tonight.
As opposed to big catchers, umpires used to always put their hand on my back. So you got to get down a little bit lower. I said, I can't. I'm as low as I can get. I'm 6'3". What do you want me to do?
2 balls and a strike. Lobaton, the switch hitting catcher, and a swing and a miss. 2-2, and Garza has got the fastball humming here in the 2nd inning.
And one thing you know right here, you might have seen Jonathan Rocoy back about 2 pitches ago looking in at the bench and maybe making a signal over to Rick Kranitz that a little bit on his breaking ball, he's getting under that breaking ball. And what Matt Garza needs to do when he has a good effective breaking ball, you have to stay on top of that pitch.
That way you get some depth, to get that downward action on it as opposed to just going across.
See what he does here. Little half swing, he goes. Garza with back-to-back strikeouts, and the bases are still loaded. Now 2 outs, and the pitcher Gio Gonzalez coming up.
And getting a lot of mileage out of that slider, and once again Lucroy able to block it. There it is, down in the dirt. No pitcher should ever worry about bouncing, breaking pitches in the dirt with Lucroy back there, or Maldonado for that matter.
And oh, what a good feeling that is, Rocky, when you can throw that pitch. And you saw that time when the ball coming out of Garza's hand. He wasn't pushing it. The hand was on top of the ball. He got that good downward movement.
No, don't let off the gas now. Got the pitcher at the plate. Chance to get out of this inning. Gio Gonzalez, who has 2 hits this year and actually has a home run this season. He is no slouch with the bat as far as pitchers go. Typically a guy, he's a lot like Kyle Loesch, makes contact usually. And a bouncing ball up the middle. Segura has it. Tough hop will go to the bag. Matt Garza pulls the Houdini act in the 2nd inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Retires the next 3 in order.
Just a reminder, voting for the 2014 MLB All-Star Game closes in just a little bit over a week, and we're continuing our campaign to send the Brewers to the big game. So we're asking fans to continue to send us those pictures on Twitter and show us how you're voting Brewers. Make sure to include @FSWisconsin so we can see those pictures and the hashtag #VoteBrewers. Some of the lucky fans are going to be able to see those pictures on air today during our broadcast. Back to you, Brian.
All right. Thanks, Bashara. We've significantly upgraded our broadcast tonight with Bashara, Sophia, Augie.
Yeah, Craig. Well, Craig's going to show up in the 8th inning. You can't forget about Kashawn. Come on.
We appreciate that, Bashara. Good call. Well, Mark Wegner, as we went to commercial, There was an argument between he and Matt Williams, and it was about this pitch. Lucroy framed it, got a strike called, and then Matt Williams must have went and saw the video of it because he came out and gave Wegner an earful between innings.
Yeah. You're not allowed to argue balls and strike. Mark Wegner gave him a lot of rope right there. He could have thrown him out. Letting him have his say, and Matt Williams back in that dugout.
So here's Aramis Ramirez starting it for the Brew Crew. Garza strands the bases loaded. Ramirez coming off a great road trip, and as Bashara just mentioned, the Brewers fans surging in the votes. Ramirez the starter right now at third base as he skies to Zimmerman in left for out number 1.
Yeah, Gio Gonzalez, not a guy that's going to overpower you, but he will get ahead of you strike one. So you figure the Brewers, not just tonight, but expect the Brewers to be on the attack early. Most good pitchers are going to want to get ahead, strike one, first pitch ordinarily, first strike at least. Sometimes the best one you're going to get to hit. You know, curveball and changeup to go along with that fastball at about 91, 92 for Gonzalez.
Chris Davis will bat. Gonzalez missing inside. Davis, another guy who had a terrific road trip back in his hometown in Phoenix, Arizona. He was 7 for 25 on the trip. He had 280 in the 7 games, had 2 homers, and in the 7 games he had 7 runs batted in.
And you hate to be a broken record. I mean, you could say it about Davis, you could say about all the Brewers. Most of the damage that they've done has come to center field and to the opposite field, not trying to pull the baseball. You can see how good he's been against lefties.
Chopper over to third base. Rendon will wind it up, take care of Davis. 2 up and 2 down here for Gio Gonzalez.
Hey, soak up the summer at Miller Park this Thursday through Sunday as the first place Brewers take on the Colorado Rockies. Tickets are going fast, so call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com today. It's going to be summer soon, believe me. A little chilly today in Milwaukee.
Officially it is summer, but doesn't quite feel like it yet. Got some humidity going though. Feels like it could rain inside Miller Park at any second now. A little hazy. Do have the panels open.
Now you were right on the humidity numbers in Colorado.
Yes.
What is it today?
Yeah, I feel just my bones are telling me we're in the 70s or 80s. That's what I'm feeling.
It's got to be higher than that.
Reynolds pulls it foul, then on the backswing hits Lobaton.
A little haze out there beyond center field out here at Miller Park.
Seen this a lot here, Rock. I've seen it more this year than I remember in recent years.
And top hand, let's go, and that's that follow through, gets him right on the back of the head. That's why you wear a helmet, kids. Still going to hurt, but not going to put you out of the game.
Had a couple of catchers this year. I can remember Gerald Laird of the Atlanta Braves is one of them that had to leave the game, concussion-like syndromes after a follow through like that. 1 ball, 1 strike on Reynolds. Mark Reynolds very familiar with baseball in the Beltway. Played for the Orioles for a few seasons. Brewers played the Orioles earlier this year, took 2 out of 3 from Buck Showalter's Orioles. And now the Nationals in. It'll be the first of 6 games against Washington this year. The Brewers have a series in Washington right after the All-Star break. Reynolds swings and misses, look like a changeup. It's 3-2.
Yeah, Gonzalez was going along pretty good until his last 2 starts before going on the disabled list, where he gave up a ton of runs. Shoulder inflammation put him on the DL.
Missed about a month of the schedule. This is just his 2nd start since returning from the disabled list.
He won 21 games back in 2012.
He was a major pickup from the Oakland Athletics for the Nationals. Full count to Reynolds, 2 outs in the inning. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. He took a little off. And Gonzalez retires the side in order in the second.
Road trip, and today in our Crew in the Community, the Brewers Wives and Brewers Community Foundation helping to kick off the Salvation Army's Feed the Kids program. 2 Brewers wives joining me now, Tiffany Weeks and Sarah Lucroy, and the wives are on hand today to help kick off the event, packing lunches, helping to feed hungry kids across Milwaukee County. Now, we are also, the wives are also preparing baskets that you're auctioning off all weekend long to help support Salvation Army. Sarah, tell us a little bit about what you put in Jonathan Lucroy's cooler. Not even a basket, a cooler.
Yeah, it's a portable cooler, and I have Jonathan and Maldonado and Marcus Hanel combined together, and we have a couple of their T-shirts, signed T-shirts, baseball. We have a bat, and then we have a couple of batting gloves. And then Maldonado also has a pair of cleats. So we have a lot of great stuff in this basket. It's a lot of stuff, good stuff.
Great items in the baskets. And Tiffany, this certainly goes to support a great cause, Salvation Army and Feed the Kids program. Why is it important for the wives to get behind a cause like this?
Well, I think that we're all so blessed and so excited to be able to do things in the community. Anytime we can go beyond the diamond and go into the community and actually have an impact, it does something good for all of us. So I think it's a mutual benefit, and we all enjoy doing it. We love doing it.
All right. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Now, you can bid on these baskets all week long until June 29th. Go to brewers.com/auctions. And, Bill, you were talking about the humidity. It's at 87%.
And that's why that ball stays in the ballpark right there. As Braun makes a nice catch up against the fence. So good call.
How about Sophia, huh?
She's dropping a little weather. She's got interviews going.
Yeah. That ball, you think that ball would have been out of Colorado?
It had been about 50 rows up in the second level.
So Ryan Braun making a nice catch, getting his back right against that wall and able to make a relatively easy play and right. I think that, you know, you hate to keep referring to Colorado, but it's just such a different game when you play at Coors Field that ball that Gio Gonzalez hit last inning probably would have gone through into center field. Such a hard field, and it's good to be back at home. Let's just put it that way.
No question. Good play out there by Ryan Braun. As Anthony Rendon bats in this third inning. So heat makes the ball fly, right? Humidity actually knocks the ball down. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, that's the old adage. I mean, there have been some scientists, and you know, that recently have tried to dispute that, but you know, that's kind of, you know, what everybody thinks. You go to Florida in spring training, and Ball doesn't travel very well. Very humid there. Not humid in Arizona. So there's a lot of different factors. But I think humidity does keep the ball from flying as well as it does without the humidity.
So the humidity yesterday in Colorado was about what, 20%?
Something like that.
So that's a huge change.
Yeah.
Wonder if it affects the players as they make that transition from one climate to another.
You think the pitchers can tell the difference in the baseball? How about Augie? Does he know?
Augie, did you ever pitch in Denver or any high altitude places?
Probably just spring training in Arizona, and it was different. The flight of the ball off the crack of the bat and things like that. Just didn't seem to get the good sharp movement that you did when it's very humid out.
Pitchers love a good sweat though, right?
Oh, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
You can get one going today. They have the roof closed because there are thunderstorms around, little cells popping up. So hoping to have the roof open the remaining of the homestand. And the roof was open briefly here today, but they had to close it up. So it does get a little heated up inside Miller Park. 3-2 on the way. Rendon takes ball 4. And a base runner for the Nationals with 1 away. By the way, Matt Williams was ejected, thrown out after that argument with Mark Wegner. So the Washington skipper will watch this one from the clubhouse the rest of the way.
Randy Knorr, the bench coach, will take over. Yeah, you can't argue balls and strikes. Can you imagine what would go on in baseball if you could go out there every time you thought that a pitch was not called correctly?
Jason Worth, and a line shot into right center. Braun able to cut it off. On his way to third goes Rendon as Worth singles sharply to right center. And the two guys that were slumping the most, Worth and Ian Desmond, both with hits.
Yeah, you see the fastball to the hand of Matt Garza, and Worth likes the ball out away from him. And saw Worth a bunch with the Philadelphia Phillies, and he just loved to get those arms extended. Had great power to the opposite field. And Desmond able to get into Rendon able to get into third base.
You know, right there you saw that pitch. He's trying to go on that outside part of the plate, and when you got a guy that wants to go that way, you just have to make sure you get the ball out on the outer half. He got that ball, came back over the plate a little bit, up a little bit, and he was able to drive it in the right field for a base hit.
Yeah, it's one thing to hit the outside corner, but you got to make sure it's down in the strike zone.
Here's Adam LaRoche now with runners at the corners. By the way, that hit by Worth, just to give you an idea of where he's been offensively, just his third hit in his last 25 at bats. So he and Desmond have found Garza to their liking so far. Brewers look to turn 2 here. LaRoche takes one down low in the dirt. 2-0 the count on LaRoche.
Okay, they say you pitch on a diagonal, up and in, down and away, and if you go up and away and down and in, that's not a good combination.
That is not. You make more mistakes, and you know the saying is you got to pitch in order to win, but down and away is your best pitch, but you got to make sure you put it in good zones. You see Garza now just a little bit, just trying to be too fine. I think last inning he worked out of it. He threw the ball very well, using all his pitches, and came back this inning and just centering the ball and then played a little bit more than he did last.
And a 3-0. LaRoche swinging away, had the green light, fouls it off. LaRoche swung at the first pitch his last time up. He slapped one to the opposite field. Garza able to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. At back-to-back strikeouts of Espinoza and Lobaton. Matt Williams came out to argue between innings and was ejected, which we did not know until just now as they announced it over the PA. 3-1, and a swing and a miss, off-speed pitch.
That curveball that time. Hadn't thrown many of those yet. Good time for it.
You know, an analogy he had with that 3-0 pitch that right there that Roach would be swinging. It comes from probably Jonathan LaCroix. Last year, remembering when they were in Washington, actually LaRoche came up in a big time in the ball game, took a 3-0 pitch and hit a home run against the Brewers.
I remember that. Always has the green light. Most cleanup hitters do.
And not everybody. Every hitter is a good 3-0 hitter. apparently Adam LaRoche is.
Full count. In the air, center field, well hit. Gomez turns and watches this one go out of here. 3-run home run by Adam LaRoche. Just like that, the Nationals are on the board with a quick strike.
Yeah, home runs really haven't been a problem for Garza. Only the 8th he's allowed this year. But a big one, a walk, a base hit, and a 3-run homer on a full count. Tried to go back to the breaking pitch. He left that one up in the strike zone. And look at LaRoche. That's a sweet swing on a pitch down. Down and right down the middle of the plate on the slider.
Had that sound to it. And it hits the batter's eye. Garza knows his fate when that one left the bat. LaRoche with his 9th home run gives him 39 runs batted in. As Zimmerman takes a ball. It is not easy to come back against the Washington Nationals. This is a very good pitching staff. Some say the best rotation when they're all healthy and active. Best rotation in the National League, and you'd be hard to argue with that assessment.
Well, their bullpen statistically is the best in the National League. Their rotation is tough. They lead the NL in team earned run average.
There aren't many holes in this pitching staff of the Nationals. They have a great pitcher's ballpark, Nationals Park. Steven Strasburg will be up on Wednesday afternoon against the Brew Crew. Tomorrow it'll be the Wisconsin native Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman rolls over 1-2 Segura, and there is out number 2. Washington's been a very streaky ball club this year. They're in first place. They've spent 22 days either in first or tied for first. You see where they rank, but their pitching staff is the best in the National League with a combined .304 earned run average. Rock, they're going along pretty well in the month of June. They're 12-8. They're coming off back-to-back wins in Atlanta, but they've had these big swings. You know, they'll win 8 of 9. They'll lose 6 of 8. They've had a couple of big swings like that throughout the year.
Yeah, real streaky. And sometimes when you rely on too much on your offense, that's what happens. Offense is going to be up and down, that's for sure.
Braun race again to make the catch on the pop-up from Desmond. Garza's out of the inning, but Adam LaRoche does big damage. A 3-run homer. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. And by Gerhard's, the kitchen and bath store. Find inspirational design solutions and quality kitchen and bath products for your home. Visit GerhardStore.com. Monday night, Miller Park. First place teams going at it. First of 6 games between the Brewers and the Nationals this year. And the Brew Crew finding themselves in a hole early. 3-0 Washington on a 3-run homer by Adam LaRoche. And he's 2 for 2 today against Garza. Segura will start it. He'll be followed by Matt Garza, and then back to the top of the order and Ricky Weeks. Terry Augustine is joining us from the camera well, the old left-hander. What have you seen, Augie, from Gio Gonzalez, left-hander coming back from shoulder surgery? He's off to a pretty good start here. Only 1 base hit allowed thus far.
Throwing the ball, you see him. He's a typical left-hander. He's got a good two-seam and four-seam fastball. He'll sink the fastball away from right-handers. His signature pitch, though, is that breaking ball. He's got a very good breaking ball. He'll change speeds with it. He likes to throw it down and in when he gets ahead. And then to a right-hander, he'll use a changeup. He's very effective. But when you look at this guy in the last 4 years, he's gotten 32 starts each year. He's gone over 200 innings each year. And this is a guy who knows how to pitch and has been a real battler for this Washington National team.
And not afraid to come inside when he feels like he has to. He's going to lull you to sleep with breaking pitches and change ups and pitches away. And every now and again, he'll catch that inside corner and catch you napping.
Yes, he will. And he'll use both sides of the plate. He has good control. And, it's an interesting fact. I was reading up on him today. And he throws his curveball as his signature pitch. It's the pitch he has the most confidence in. And he learned his curveball from his dad. His dad, when he was young, taught him the curveball grip, and he still uses that grip today. That's pretty interesting.
And has one of the great curveballs. As Segura lines one to center field, a little soft liner for a base hit. Just the second hit for the Brewers against Gonzalez, and a leadoff single for Gene Segura.
Yeah, made a mistake with the fastball that time. A two-seam fastball at about 91 miles an hour. And Segura doesn't try and pull it. That's the thing he's been trying to do a little bit more of. Shoot it back through the middle.
Yeah, in the Brewer offense, they still have to stay there aggressive. That's the way they swing the bat, but be selective. Every once in a while, Gio Gonzalez will get a little bit wild and lose a little bit of command. So you have to stay on the attack against him.
That's 23 walks in 55 2/3 innings coming in.
Well, it was a huge scare for the Nationals after Gio Gonzalez was complaining about a little soreness in his shoulder. They had an MRI and it showed some inflammation, and then he went on the disabled list in mid-May. Missed a month of the season. He was out mid-May, went on a minor league rehab assignment in early June, and here he is, just his second start back. And I don't think you're out of the woods when you're talking about a shoulder injury. No matter that you've gone through your minor league rehab, you've tried to strengthen up the shoulder, but I think that's going to be something in the back of their minds, certainly in the back of his mind. As Garza gets a good bunt down, and LaRoche will make the play, but a good sacrifice bunt for Matt Garza, his 4th of the year, and he advances Segura to second base.
Well, that brings the top of the order. The double play is not a possibility. Watch the technique for Garza, able to deaden that ball right off the end of the bat. The idea is just catch the baseball at the end of the bat, and does it beautifully down the first baseline.
And a handshake from his manager. So Garza puts Segura in scoring position for Ricky Weeks. Starts him with a curveball. Last time up, Weeks flew out to center field. Gonzalez goes through the Brewers order first time through, allowing 2 hits, 2 for 8 officially on the books with that sac bunt by Garza. Now second time through. Are these left-handers the Brewers have faced over the last 2 days, Rock, does that help them with Gio Gonzalez? Is there anything similar between Matzik, who threw yesterday, Friedrich the day before, and Gio?
I think Friedrich is more along the lines of a Gio Gonzalez, not a hard thrower. But Matzik yesterday had about 95 miles an hour on his fastball from time to time. And just because they're left-handed doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help you out the more you face them.
Segura takes off, and he picked the right pitch to run on. A breaking ball in the dirt and a stolen base. That's a big one there. Puts him at third with just one out in the inning.
Yeah, fly ball. Now give the Brewers a run. Get them on the board. Great jump. Now the middle infielders weren't paying much attention to Segura. He stole that one off the middle infield.
It was a rough slide. Remember, this surface is very soft, and a little bit of rain as the roof was open this morning, and Segura planted himself going into third base.
Yep. And into that bag hard.
Shaken up a little bit. By the way, that's his 14th stolen base of the year.
But anytime you face pitchers of similar styles, whether lefties or righties, it's going to help you out.
And just the fact that Weeks has been in the starting lineup the last 3 days should get him a little rhythm.
Could help Ricky, but not so much help Scooter Gennett. He was red hot before this stretch of left-handers comes. Now he knows what Ricky feels like.
That is very rare to face 3 consecutive left-handed starters.
And you might see a couple of lefties for the Rockies over the weekend. Not many left-handed starters in the National League Central.
Big spot for Weeks. Brewers down 3-0, needing a run here. A lot of ways to get one in a spot like this. The Nationals have their infield back, so they're going to concede the run for an out. Can score them on a fly ball to the outfield. It won't take much to get Segura home. 2-2, and a breaking ball just missed. Boy, Weeks, I think he thought he was rung up.
Yeah, he was walking back to the dugout. You see the smile on his face.
Ricky says, "Yep, you got me."
Yep, I'll just take my medicine and walk back to the dugout. Nope. Live to see another pitch.
Now you got to be swinging. Can't make a home plate umpire very happy. Full count. Inside. He walks him. So back to that fastball, and Weeks draws the walk, and now first and third with one away. The tying run will come to bat.
Yep, slow curveball away. Then he tried to catch the inside corner with a fastball. That's what we were talking about, Augie, with Gio Gonzalez. He doesn't throw hard, but he will come inside on you.
And he has good control. That signature pitch, that breaking ball, you'll see him throw that real slow one, and if he gets ahead, it's surprising. And he'll come with that good, hard breaking ball down and in. Very hard to stay off that pitch because he throws it in such a good location.
The command of that slow curveball really slows the bats down of the Brewers, and then you try and speed it up with the fastball in.
So here is Braun now. Brewers don't have a whole lot of success against Gonzalez other than Lucroy. Braun is now 1 for 7 lifetime. Well, and he had one to hit there. He missed it. Big spot. The Brewers have him at the corners, trying to answer a 3-run Washington third inning. LaRoche hit one out to center field. Gonzalez struck out Braun in the first inning, one of his 2 strikeouts. Gio Gonzalez has only made one other appearance here at Miller Park. He's got Braun chasing.
That curveball and changeup. Be careful with a fastball in here. That's what he tried to do the Weeks last time up.
That's one thing he will do. He'll move the ball inside and out, change the speed like you saw. He does very well on that breaking ball. But like you said, Rocky, you really got to watch on the inside part of the plate right here.
Lobatone wants another changeup. Gonzalez likes it. No balls, 2 strikes to count. And Braun strikes out. Boy, that is a huge out. Braun up there with 1 out. and runners at the corners, and they are still there with 2 away.
That's such good arm action on that circle change. You can see the forefinger and the thumb making a circle, and he's got a little bit of movement going away as that pitch gets the home plate, and that's exactly where you want to change up with 0-2. Down in the zone, down in the dirt.
Struck him out on 3 pitches, all of them under the strike zone. So it'll be up to Lucroy with 2 away. Lucroy is 3 for 3 lifetime against Gonzalez after his hit in the first. It was a 2-strike single to right. And a curveball in there for a strike 1. How about those numbers? Among all the other things he does well, he has been about as clutch as it gets. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, a batting average over 400. That's about 200 points higher, a little bit less than for league average. It's one of the toughest spots to get a base hit.
Infielders up the middle at double play depth. He's got that huge hole between first and second. He's already rolled one in there his first time up. He's tough in these situations because he's only trying to get a base hit, not trying to hit a home run. Stays on the baseball, and he'll take what the pitcher's giving him.
Two on, 2 out, 1 ball, 1 strike on Lucroy. And a fastball got by him. It's 1-2 now. In Gio Gonzalez's only start at Miller Park, he surrendered 5 runs in 6 innings. 4 of those earned. He was uncharacteristically wild in that start. He walked 5. He's only making his 3rd career start against the Brewers.
Well, he'll throw pitches out of the strike zone. If you don't prove to him you're going to take them. A lot of the strikeouts and a lot of the swings that the Brewers have taken are pitches out of the strike zone. They aren't balls. You lay off of them, and then you force him to throw strikes, that fastball down the middle. But he won't do that unless you lay off those pitches out of the zone.
Well, the Brewers had a runner at third and just 1 out. Now first and third, 2 away, and Lucroy fights one off. Back to the fastball inside. Gonzalez in his 3rd year with the Nationals. They're meeting at the mound, the catcher and the shortstop. Lucroy in a battle. His first time up, Gonzalez had him down on the count with 2 strikes. He singled to right. Didn't hit it hard, but he just punched it through a sizable hole over there between first and second. 1-2. Back to the heat. Lucroy was right on that one. He fouls it back.
Yeah, Luke frustrated. Missed a good one to hit. 3 consecutive fastballs from Gonzalez. And this one very, very hittable.
See what it gives him here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Lucroy fouls another one off. Another fastball from Gonzalez.
And all fastballs, all 4 seamers.
And elevating him, Rocky. One thing he did the first time up, he threw Jonathan a little fastball on the outside corner down, and Jonathan went the opposite way with him. But now he's starting to elevate it, giving him a little bit different look.
Got ahead with a curveball, and then nothing but fastball since.
Lobaton calls for the curveball here. First and third, 1-2, and Lucroy takes it in the dirt. Segura broke and then stopped, and a good thing. Segura's been stealing a few runs lately, but that was a little too close for him. But he made him think about it.
Yeah, Gonzalez hasn't made a mistake with that breaking ball yet. Everything down.
Good battle here. The stuff's different, but this reminds me of an at-bat he had against Aroldis Chapman last year. Just kept hanging in there. He finally got a breaking ball, and he hit one in the seats in left field. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ball 3. Gomez would be next.
Thinks away, reacts inside. This pitch doesn't fool him. Everything up in the zone except for that curveball in the dirt.
Full count, 2 outs. That means Weeks will get a head start at first. The 9th pitch of the at bat coming to Lucroy. And he pulls one foul.
It's been really interesting here how he's approached him. He's throwing, like you said, Rocky, start him off with that nice slow breaking ball for a strike, medium height on the plate. Everything else he's been throwing the fastball in the upper part of the strike zone, and that breaking ball is down in the strike zone, changing that eye level.
Hadn't made a mistake with a curveball yet. Hadn't hung one.
It'll be a 10-pitch at bat for Lucroy. Another 3-2. Weeks goes. Lucroy fights another one off. Wow, what an at bat here. And keep in mind, regardless of what happens in this at bat, you know, Gonzalez is just coming back from a shoulder injury. He's on a pretty strict pitch count. I mean, they're not going to let him go too much over 100 pitches. He's sitting here at 59 already.
Right.
He's going to see at least 11 pitches against Lucroy.
That's a good fact right there, BA, because this is a guy who last time went out and they've been watching him closely. He got that shoulder problems that he had. They're going to allow him to, last time out, to go about 93 pitches. So this time when he gets up and close to that area, they're going to be watching and see how he's throwing the ball. Is he throwing it with effort? Is it time for him to maybe come out of the ball game?
Another 3-2. Weeks takes off, and Lucroy takes ball 4. What an at-bat by Jonathan Lucroy, an 11-pitch grinder, and it ends up in a walk, and the bases are loaded for Gomez.
Now, put an asterisk by that at-bat for Lucroy. Not only does he get first base, but he made Gonzalez work, and work hard. 11 pitches. He fouled off a bunch, mainly fastballs, and Lucroy very stubborn in that approach. Never, ever wasting that bat. That was a nice job right there. Tried to come inside and missed in off the plate, trying to get him to chase.
Fox Tracks had it way inside. Lobaton tried to keep it in there, and he lost him. Pretty well-timed visit here by Steve McCatty, the Nationals pitching coach. If nothing else, just to give Gio Gonzalez a breather. And I'm sure he's reminding him that the next guy coming up is not going to be afraid to swing early.
And keep in mind, Ricky Weeks had a long at bat too.
Powerball home run leaderboard. Carlos Gomez with 12, one off the club high. Reynolds and Davis at the top. You've got Ramirez and Braun with 10 apiece. Well, a long ball here would put the Brewers on top. And Gomez swinging away, fouls it off, got the changeup.
You know, Gomez isn't going to get too many fastballs. Change-ups, curveballs, fastballs out of the strike zone, but not too many for strikes, particularly early in the count. Different approach for Gonzalez to two different kinds of hitters.
Pitch number 31 of the inning for Gonzalez. Nearly half of his pitches have come in this frame. It's not over yet. Gomez trying to do big damage. Bases full of Brewers with 2 away. And Gomez into left center field. Right there is Zimmerman to retire the side. They had him covered in the gap. Brewers strand the bases loaded, and they come up empty in the 3rd. And Adam LaRoche 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. Brewers stranding the bases loaded. The Nationals have stranded them loaded as well today. Carsoup.com trivia question: who is the first Brewers manager to win 300 games with Milwaukee? Ron Renicky just won his 300th game as a Brewers skipper. And his ball club going along well right now. 17 over 500, the best record after 77 games in franchise history. 47-30 the Brewers record. They're 5.5 up on the St. Louis Cardinals. Let a big opportunity just go by, however, as Gonzalez has to wrestle through a long 3rd inning, but he does leave him loaded. So Matt Garza back out there. Bottom of the order coming up: Espinosa, Lobaton, and the pitcher Gonzalez will bat. Espinosa, part of a controversial call in the Garza 2nd inning, had the bases loaded. He struck out Espinosa looking, and that's what got Matt Williams ejected between innings. That ball is hit high in the air to center field. Gomez makes the catch just shy of the track for the first out.
Hey, ladies, join the crew for a girls' night out Saturday, July 26th, as the Brewers take on the Mets. Enjoy an evening of fashion in Miller Park's exclusive Gale Club with the latest apparel, merchandise discounts, a complimentary gift bag, and more. For details, visit brewers.com/brewed-for-her. No space in between those 3 words.
Oh, it's all one.
Brewed for her.
No spaces.
Right.
Thanks for clearing that up. That's important. Jose Lobaton with 1 away. You didn't say that in your Jerry Lewis voice to start, though.
Hey, lady.
In your Mike D voice.
I'm not big on impressions. I mean, you do a pretty good job with them. Why don't you drop them?
You're doing a great Bill Schroeder every night.
Yeah.
You're an original. An American original, Bill Schroeder.
Go ahead. Hey, ladies.
Turning down interview requests. You'll sign anything, I'll tell you that, though. I'll give you credit. You stand up here before games, you sign cards and baseballs and other things. There's a called strike 3. Lobaton is rung up. And Garza with his 3rd, making his 4th strikeout.
A perfect pitch right on the outside corner gets Lobaton. And once again, that outside corner, a little bit generous for Mike Everett. And Luke Voit holds it right there for him. Now, what interview did I not want to do?
There's been a few today.
That's not true.
And a little bit of a stack of Bill Schroeder interview requests. I think Washington Nationals Radio wanted you part of their pregame show.
See, now you know you're lying now. He wants a network guy. He's looking at you asking if either one of us want to do the interview. I think it's pretty obvious.
It's not true.
I'm more than happy to help out when I can.
You're kind of you're an intimidating presence. So guys, they come around, they want interviews, you know, and they're looking at, well, who's the friendliest face in this group that, I mean, you look like you're ready to bite somebody's head off. And I know that's not the way you are. It's just
Is that the way I look?
You've got this image of this tough guy, you know.
Wow,
you're
really?
kind of a tough guy too.
Huh. I'd work on that.
Yeah. I don't know if you can change what that's all about. As Garza strikes out Gonzalez, nice tidy inning for him. BA and the bully here from Miller Park. Nationals lead 3-0. Started for the Brewers as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Brew Crew down 3-0. And our AT&T U-verse rewind. How about we take you back to Aramis Ramirez? What a great road trip, especially when he got to Colorado. Ramirez with 8 hits in the 3 games. He hit a long home run yesterday and has moved into first place in the fan voting. The National League All-Stars at the latest release. There it is, 1.279 million. You got to keep voting, though. He's ahead of David Wright and Pablo Sandoval, and you can bet the Mets and Giants fans will have a response, so stay after it. By the way, the Brewers have not had a third baseman make the All-Star team since Jeff Cirillo in 1997. It's been a long time. And the last starter at third base in an All-Star game from Milwaukee, it's a good trivia question, was Paul Molitor.
Yep.
In 1988. So there has been a drought for All-Stars over there at the hot corner.
Well, you look at Ramirez's numbers. I mean, he stack up favorably to any of these third basemen in the National League. And keep in mind, he missed 3 weeks. He was on a disabled list. He's got the 38 RBIs, 10 homers, and hitting near 300.
Ramirez is starting to accumulate numbers as one of the all-time great sluggers and run producers at the third base position. And it is almost shocking that he's only been an All-Star twice in his career. He's typically been a very slow starter. Wasn't the case this year, but that's been his career history, that He's been a slow starter. He's had some injuries to deal with. But look at this list. Mike Schmidt, 509 home runs as a third baseman. And Ramirez is climbing the list as he strikes out for the first out of the inning. Gonzalez picks up his first K.
I think that slow start historically for Ramirez is why he's not an all-star on a regular basis. Now, like in the old days, if they had an all-star team at the end of the season, I think that might be different because he really turns it on at around July. Just doesn't like cold weather. Didn't bother him this year, though.
He certainly likes playing inside Miller Park in April and May as opposed to Wrigley Field. Chris Davis, first ball swinging, little roller over to Rendon. 2 quick outs for Gonzalez. Now, speaking of the All-Star game, it is Tuesday, July 15th. And it is in Minneapolis. Target Field. It figures to be an emotional and unforgettable night. You can count on the captain, Derek Jeter, being there. Special coverage begins at 4:30 on Fox Sports 1. And it's followed by the 2014 All-Star Game at 7:30 p.m. Central, exclusively on Fox. Great group of players there. On the promo, you'll notice not one Brewer on that Fox promo. The most ignored first place team in the big leagues right now.
Buster Posey's on there. No Jonathan Lucroy. Of course, Luke hasn't been an all-star yet.
Mark Reynolds takes a ball.
He said emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional for Jeter, probably.
I think Derek Jeter's the guy that's going to be, you know, his last All-Star game, his last season. I'm getting emotional right now just thinking about it.
Well, last year was pretty good with Mariano Rivera.
That was emotional.
Right. I agree.
2-1 to Reynolds. 2-2 the count now with 2 away. All-time All-Star voting leaders. So Ken Griffey Jr. is the all-time record holder. Derek Jeter is climbing the list. I don't think he can catch him, can he? It's a little too late.
Not votes.
Reynolds trying to reach with 2 outs. Full count, 2 outs. Here it comes, and it's inside, ball 4. Gonzalez has missed in there in the last couple of innings.
Yeah, 3 walks. 3 walks. He's allowed only 2 hits.
All 3 of those walks on inside fastballs that have missed to right-handed hitters.
You know, it's interesting to watch the way he's been working the last couple innings. He's really trying to get the Brewers out with his off-speed stuff away, and he'll give a good fastball on the outside corner. He'll throw fastballs up in the zone, slow breaking balls, but he really is using that changeup effectively away to right-handed hitters.
See what he does here with Segura, another of the free swingers in the Brewers lineup. Segura singled off of him in the 3rd inning. Coming back inside with that fastball. And Segura had a good cut, but fouls it back.
Yeah, just the idea, just the notion maybe he's going to throw the changeup or the curveball. He's able to get 90 miles an hour by these Brewers hitters, even when he misses out over the plate. It's all about tempo and all about, you know, what you're looking for. You're protecting off speed. That slows your bat down. You can't get to the fastball.
Quickly 0-2 and a check on Reynolds. Different kind of pitching staff the Brewers are going to deal with against the Nationals than what they saw with the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Got a lot of talent over here. There goes Reynolds. Pitch is outside. Throw to second is late. Mark Reynolds steals second and a sneak attack.
Yeah, had a stolen base yesterday. Number 5 for Reynolds. You don't pay much attention to him. You get a curveball to run on, and no chance for a Lobodom.
Well, now a base hit. The Brewers can put a run on the board. There was a year when Reynolds, the year he had 40 homers with the Diamondbacks, stole 20+ bases. He can do it. The Brewers have just 2 hits. Segura and Lucroy with the hits. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down in the dirt. Nice play by Lobaton. Keeps Reynolds at second base.
He got in front of it. He was up on his feet, but able to keep it close. Well, when you have Gio Gonzalez on the mound, when you're getting ready to catch him, you better know you're going to be blocking some pitches in the dirt, and not exactly the way you draw it up, but effective.
Yeah, standing up with your chin up, usually not the recipe to block a pitch, right?
No.
2-2. Gonzalez delivers inside, gets away from Lobaton. So now Reynolds at third base. And Gio Gonzalez is barking at Lobaton a little bit.
A changeup that he just didn't get to, and Reynolds able to get to third base.
Well, it'll probably be scored as a wild pitch, but that's a ball that every big league catcher has to keep in front.
Yeah. Anytime the ball hits the dirt, it's going to be a wild pitch, but you're right. That's one he's got to catch.
Well, another one of those. The Brewers could steal a run here. Reynolds at third. Full count, 2 outs. And Segura. Little pop up to second base. Espinoza makes the catch. And the Brewers strand another one. They've left 4 on in the last 2 innings. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite, now in the original can, it's Miller time. Beautiful Miller Park lights are up on a Monday night. Roof is all closed up. Got some storms out there, some rain cells. The Nationals have a 3-run lead on one swing of the bat. Adam LaRoche went deep in the 3rd inning. Cast of thousands here tonight. Jerry Augustine joining us down in the first base dugout. Sophia Minute, our reporter. Don't forget, Jerry and Craig Kashan will have Brewers Live following the game here tonight. Got Bashara with us as well. Matt Garza back on the mound to start his 5th inning. So Garza, after the home run from LaRoche, has retired 5 in a row. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 4th inning, and now he'll go back to the top of the order. 3rd time through. Denard Span will lead off. Span sent Braun deep to right his last time up. This one routine for Davis in left. 1 pitch and 1 out for Matt Garza. Gives us a chance to Take another look at our trivia question. As Anthony Rendon comes up, Carsoup.com gives us our trivia each night. First Brewer manager to win 300 games with Milwaukee. George Bamberger. That's a good one.
That's Bambi's Bombers. 2 different stints with the Brewers. He was my manager for a couple of years.
What was playing for Bambi like in '85 and '86?
Awesome. I mean, just filled out the lineup, let you go about your business. A player's manager. Always remember coming into the dugout and, after an inning, and he's always would say, "Let's go, boys. Let's get to uppercutting."
Get to uppercutting.
Yes, it did. He was for good. He really was a good guy.
Oh, remember, great.
Yeah, I remember when he first was hired by the Brewers. We went to the time he was hired, and
as a bouncer back to Garza, he'll underhand it over to first for the second out. What do you got, Augie? Bambi story. I want to hear this.
Well, he was hired, so all the players from the area came in for his hiring to say hi and meet him, and we were just ready to leave, and he called me. He says, "Hey, Augie, come in here once." I say, "Oh boy, here we go, right from the start." But he called me in his office. It was November 12th. He called me in the office to sit me down. He says, "I just want to tell you, you're pitching opening day now. Go get ready." That's all he said to me. And honest God, I went to spring training, had it all set up, and I pitched opening day for Bambi's first year in the big leagues in '78.
Now that's communication. He told him in November.
To get ready. Had 5 months, Augie. How'd you do?
It took me 5 months to get ready. We actually we did beat his former team where he coached before, the Baltimore Orioles. We beat him like 8-0, and I had 8-3. I had a shutout going in ninth and gave up a home run to Eddie Murray.
Wow.
Bouncer to Segura. Long throw. Wirtz got some speed, and it's up the line. Wirtz is in there with an infield hit.
Might have beat it anyway. Yeah, for a big guy, he can get down that line in pretty good shape. Yeah, Segura playing with the heels on the grass. Able to get there, but throw a little bit off the mark. Would have been close had it been right on the money. Look where he makes that throw. A couple of steps on the grass.
Yeah, would have been close at first. Normally Segura makes that play. He made a few of those in Colorado just like that. But he knew he had to rush it a little bit with Wirth running. So here's LaRoche. The guy you didn't want to bat in this inning with a man on. LaRoche is 2 for 2. Had a first pitch single in the second inning. And then had a long battle with Garza in the third. And he hit one off the batter's eye in center field. A 3-run home run.
Yep, a line drive on a 3-2 pitch.
LaRoche plays the game about as easy as you can.
Adam LaRoche against Garza in his career, 4 for 5 now with a couple of home runs.
There you go.
I mean, he hits them well, he sees it well, and doesn't miss any mistakes.
And he's hit wherever he's gone. Every stop along the way. LaRoche has 25 or more homers for 4 different teams. Did it with the Braves, the Pirates, the Arizona Diamondbacks. The only year he was in Arizona, he hit 25 and drove in 100. And with the Nationals, he's now in his 4th year in Washington. Came up with the Braves, then the Pirates. Had 1 year with Boston, just briefly in 09.
You know the way he stands up, he has that open stance, and when you're a pitcher on the mound, you see that open stance, you think, well, I can get the ball down and away from him, I get the ball away from him, but this guy, LaRoche, likes the ball on the outer half of the plate. You really have to show him that you get the ball in on him.
Well, watch his approach. His first step is right toward the pitcher, so he covers that outside very well.
Bounce to Reynolds. Big hop for him. He'll take it to the bag. LaRoche retired for the first time tonight. Matt Garza, a scoreless 5th. The Brewers down 3-0. Don't forget to vote Brewers. Ryan Braun on that list. He's moving up. He's 5th right now. Brewers have 2 of the top 5 outfielders in the National League voting. Gomez is currently 3rd. And you can vote at Brewers.com. Braun will be due up 3rd in this inning. The Brewers have some work to do. Gio Gonzalez has been very good for Washington, and he's been able to pitch out of a couple of jams. Jams that have been courtesy of some walks, some uncharacteristic wildness by Gonzalez. He's walked 3. He's given up just 2 hits. And the Brewers have left 4 on in the last 2 innings. Garza will start it. And then back to the top of the order, and the 3rd time through against Gonzalez, Ricky Weeks, and then Braun. Washington manager Matt Williams ejected after the 1st inning.
I think he got ejected before he even came out to argue with Mark Wegner.
We never saw that, but that might be the reason he came out to argue, huh?
Yeah, he was already heated up when he got out there, so he must have been tossed before he got out there.
It's a very subtle ejection. It wasn't until they announced it here, and half inning later did we know he had been tossed. Little cue shot. Gonzalez will glove it, underhanded, and Garza is out. Now, this was it. If you take a look, this was between innings right away, and Wegman says, "You're out of here." And out he goes.
Yep, we didn't see that. He saw this part.
That was after the Nationals stranded the bases loaded in the 2nd inning, and I think the call of dispute was the Espinoza called strike 3 that Garza made to the 2nd baseman, which was the first out in that inning. But the Nats are going along just fine without their skipper right now. Managers need a day off too sometimes.
Clubhouse not that far from the actual dugout here in Miller Park, so I would imagine there's a. I don't think Matt Williams is showered up in back of the hotel.
He's not checking out the Summerfest grounds, making sure everything is in order for Wednesday, huh?
Yeah, I think he's still in control at some point. Somehow. Might be going out on a limb there, but.
Well, Weeks is 0 for 1. Had a nice at bat in the 3rd inning. Had a long battle with Gonzalez that ended in a walk. Two and 1. And a swing and a miss. Boy, he's got a good changeup.
Most of the changeups that he's thrown to get swings on are not strikes. Just like that last one to Ricky. 2 and 1, sitting fastball, throws a changeup off the plate and gets a swing.
The old fadeaway just never gets to the spot the hitter thinks it will, and he strikes out Weeks. Lobaton secures it at first, so 2 outs in the 5th. 2 gone, nobody on for Ryan Braun. Well, our AT&T fan photo promotion. You can use the hashtag WisFanPhoto or have a chance to have your picture shown on our broadcast. Just tweet us your photo. Make sure you use that hashtag WisFanPhoto. And put your first name and maybe even where you're from. Makes it fun for everyone. Here's Braun with 2 away. Braun struck out with runners at 1st and 3rd in the 3rd inning. Don't see Braun do that normally. It gives you an idea of how good Gonzalez's stuff is. He struck him out on a changeup.
Yeah, Brawny right now is in one of those stretches. He's not seeing the ball that well. He's been swinging out of the strike zone a little bit. Started on the last road trip. Just out in front, a little bit behind. Every hitter goes through it.
2-0 to Braun. And he lines that one left field. That is down fair, and it's going to roll to the wall. Braun into second base with a double. Caught that one right off the end of the bat, but an extra base hit.
Well, the advantage of using that big long bat that Braun uses, 35 inches, it's changeup. And Braun able to wait back long enough. He's got that good extension, good leverage. Look how tall he stands through the swing. And able to get it and hook it down the line.
Yeah, right there, Gonzalez, what he did, Gio, actually what he did right there, he wanted to throw that changeup down in the inner part of the plate, get him to go for it, got the ball out over the plate, and Ryan did a nice job of staying on the ball and driving into left field for a double.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes he's made with an off-speed pitch. If you could say that was even a mistake.
At the plate presented by Wendy's, Lucroy, a hit and a walk today. An 11-pitch walk in the third inning against Gonzalez. Well, the Brewers, if they string together a couple of at-bats here, it's possible they could get into the Washington bullpen, if not here in the fifth inning, at least for the sixth. 93 pitches for Gonzalez with 2 outs in the fifth. And remember, he's coming back from a shoulder injury. He was on the shelf for a month. So you can bet the Nationals won't be too eager to push it past 100 pitches with him. Brewers need a big hit, though. They need a quick strike.
That's another thing we've seen about Gonzalez. You know, Rock, we talked earlier about high and tight and low and away. You're seeing in baseball today with pitchers, it's all about commanding, but the command is that you really have to command all 4 strike zones, down and in, down and away, up and in, and up and away. It's very important.
See what he has in mind here for Lucroy. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a breaking ball in there. 1-2 the count. It's got Lucroy thinking a little bit. Well, Lucroy's seen everything that Gonzalez has more than once. Gonzalez just couldn't put him away back in the third inning. He tried everything: fastballs, changeups, curveballs. The 1-2. And Lucroy, fly ball right center. That'll be Span, and that will end the inning. So Gio Gonzalez, 5 shutout innings against the heavy hitting Brewers.
At Miller Park, Brewers finally back from a road trip. They're down 3-0, and Scooter Gennett makes his Brewers bobblehead debut this Sunday. All fans at Miller Park to see the Brewers battle the Colorado Rockies. Will get this one-of-a-kind bobblehead of Scooter in a Brewers camo uniform, courtesy of Wisconsin Army National Guard. Visit Brewers.com for tickets.
Scooter looks a little nervous in that bobblehead situation. So that's a fast twitch bobblehead. Jeanette will be back in the starting lineup tomorrow, you figure. Got the right-hander Jordan Zimmermann on the mound. There is the starting pitching comparison, and outside of one pitch by Garza, he is right in there. That 3-run homer by LaRoche, which came with 1 out in the 3rd. Gonzalez is pitching well, probably near the end of his pitch limit, however. Might see him back out for 1 more inning. Garza deals strike 1 to Ryan Zimmerman. Walked in the 2nd, grounded out in the 3rd. Zimmerman, Desmond, Espinoza coming up against Garza. Ramirez in fair territory. Long throw in time for out number 1. And here comes Ian Desmond. Don't forget, we're back at it tomorrow. Brewers Nationals, 2nd game of this series. Got Gallardo and Zimmerman. That's a great matchup tomorrow. Wednesday it'll be Marco Estrada against Steven Strasburg. Nationals are throwing their horses in this series. They've actually had a lot of success from the back end of their rotation. They're just now getting Gonzalez back. Strasburg's been good. He's 6-5 with a 3.24 ERA. I felt like Jordan Zimmerman last year was starting to emerge as one of the game's elite pitchers. Power right-hander. And you know, he'll have a pass list full of family and friends here at Miller Park tomorrow.
Yeah, good fastball, good slider. And he has never lost to the Brewers.
He's had some great games against Milwaukee, especially here at Miller Park. So a tough pitching staff to deal with for the Brew Crew, and they find themselves down 3-0 as we play in the 6th inning in game 1 of this series. One and 2 to Desmond. A little bit late. Count stays at 1 and 2. Breaking ball fouled away. Desmond, a very talented shortstop. He comes with high praise from Brewers manager Ron Renicky. Got a great arm. He's been mired in a bit of a slump lately, although he did have a hit his first time up. 2-strike pitch, and down he goes. Garza with a sharp breaking slider strikes out Ian Desmond for out number 2.
He gets on top of that one pretty well, gets some good depth to it, and once again Luke were able to handle it in the dirt.
The one thing you have to be impressed with Garza in probably his last 4 or 5 starts is the efficiency that you see out of him. And right now we're in the 6th inning with 81 pitches. Earlier in the year it seemed like he'd be in the 4th and 5th and be in that 80 to 90 category. So he's been very efficient the last 4 or 5 starts.
Well, it's so important in a game like this too. His club is down 3-0. For a starting pitcher, Jerry, in a spot like this, you're trying to hang in there as long as you can to get your offense going again, give you a chance at a win. You got a high pitch count and you're out early, there's no chance at that. Espinoza takes the ball down and away.
You know, you especially like to stay in a ball game because when you have an offense like this Brewer Ball Club and they've been swinging the bats lately, they could score in any inning.
And the Brewers have been able to come back quite a bit. They put up some big innings lately, really since going back into late May. And
Garza's done a nice job keeping it in the ball game. I mean, really, you take away that first and second inning, he's cruised through this game. I mean, he's done a nice job with the curveball, the slider, locating the fastball.
The 1-2 and a bouncer foul. Look out. Almost wiped out the Nationals bad boy over there. That's why they wear helmets.
See, the pitcher for the Padres wore one of those pitching helmets. What was that, a couple of days ago, last night?
Yeah. It's been all the rave.
The first one to do so. They were talking about the prototype for those pitchers' helmets.
I just wonder if we're going to see more of those. Looks a little strange. Alex Torres, the Padres pitcher, becoming the first pitcher to wear the new protective cap.
It protects the head, does nothing for the facial area.
Yeah, he's got padding on the sides and up front. 2-2 in the dirt. Full count. The joke in San Diego was, as Torres made that appearance, is that he was wearing one of Bruce Bochy's old hats from his time managing the Padres. That's not true, though.
Yeah, Bruce had a rather large head. That's not funny, you know.
Speaking of large heads. But his was just general circumference. Yours is more just length. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Garza, a 1-2-3-6 with a couple of strikeouts. Well, the Brewers down 3-0. Got the middle of the order coming up.
Park, where the Brewers are down 3-0. I'm Bishara, and we have been asking fans all night long to show us how they vote Brewers. We have a photo that's been sent in by Nate Winters, and this is how he votes Brewers. We have a lot more where that came from. You can continue to send us those photos and tweet us at FS Wisconsin and use the hashtag #VoteBrewers. And remember, you only have a little bit over a week left to vote Brewers to the MLB All-Star Game this year. Remember to vote early, vote often, and most importantly, vote Brewers.
See, she does that so much better than we do. We should just have her do the Vote Brewers promo every time.
I agree.
It's much better. She delivers it with much more oomph.
Right.
Vote again's July 3rd, by the way. Carlos Gomez moved into the third spot, which gets him a starting nod in the All-Star game if it stays that way. Brewers need to get something going here against Gio Gonzalez. They've had their chances. They've had some men on base. Matter of fact, they've stranded 5 over the last 3 innings. Have left 6 on total. But Gio's only given up 3 hits. Gomez showing some patience here. 3-0. It'll be Gomez followed by Aramis Ramirez. And then Chris Davis. Cardinals hit one hard his last time up. He was a little off balance. He lined out to left. That was with the bases loaded, and that ended the inning in the third. That one's on the inside corner. Called strike 2 on Gomez. And Gomez puts it in play to third. Rendon for out number 1. Gonzalez comes all the way back.
Yeah, fastball in and changeup got him out in front. It's been a pitching clinic tonight for Gio Gonzalez. He looks like he hasn't spent much time on the DL. Looks pretty sharp tonight. Matt Garza hasn't been too bad either, except for that third inning.
And that one pitch.
Yeah.
One pitch to LaRoche that gave the Nationals all 3 of their runs as he ripped one off the batter's eye above the center field fence. Here's Aramis Ramirez. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Pitch count over 100 for Gonzalez. Could be his last inning. The Nationals do have activity in their bullpen. So if he could get a little rally going here, you figure the Nationals would make a change. Aaron Barrett is loosening. Very talented pitching staff in Washington. Best bullpen in the National League as far as ERA. And the ballpark helps. They play in a huge park, pitcher-friendly ballpark. But they have a lot of talent in their bullpen as well. 3-2. Ramirez swung right through a fastball. Can't believe he missed that one, he says. Payoff pitch on the way, and it's inside, ball 4. So there's a base runner, and we'll see the decision making here for the Nationals. Remember, Matt Williams ejected.
And not missing by much, is it? Maybe an inch or two, and Ramirez looking away. Looks like that one might have hit him. That's what happens when you're looking on the outside corner. You're aware of off speed. Those fastballs in look like they're going to hit you.
4 walks issued by Gonzalez. Chris Davis now. Brewers in need of a big moment in this game.
And that's one thing that happens. You know, you're getting to a part where last time out, his first time off the DL, he went 93 pitches, and now he's up in that 109, 110 category. You're starting to aim the ball a little bit, and the ball starts getting away from you.
Well, you figure he might have one more batter here. You figure if the Brewers get the tying run on, the Nats might make a change. That's the idea. Try to get into the bullpen right now. You don't want to get into the late relief of the Nationals. Gonzalez always talking to himself. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Davis with Ramirez at first. And he hits the edge. Got the call there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davis with a couple of groundouts to third base in this game. He's 0 for 2. And a slow curveball foul back.
See Gonzalez in this inning. He probably knows it's his last inning coming out. He's using the fastball a little bit more. When you get a little bit tired, you start to overthrow that breaking ball. You get it up in the zone. Changeup is usually in the dirt a little bit, so it'd be interesting to watch from here.
And the 1-2 is up and away. So Augie, he is has thrown the most pitches in this game that he has all season. It had been 111. That was a 6-inning start against Houston. That was a win. So he's at 113 now. Number 114 coming. Everything up against Davis. 2-2, and Davis bounces one to short. Desmond to second, and the throw to first is in time, and Gio Gonzalez gets out of it. 6-4-3 double play. That'll be the end of the line for him, I'm sure. By Adam LaRoche is the difference in this game. A 3-run homer to center field. That came back in the 3rd inning. Gio Gonzalez, meanwhile, rocked 6 innings, no runs against the hard-hitting Brewers, and 5 strikeouts, probably at the end of the line here.
Yeah, doing a nice job. You know, first pitch strikes. He's throwing changeups, off-speed pitches, first pitch. And even when he throws the fastball, it's in on the Brewers, getting it up in the strike zone. Brewers are really off-speed conscious. And since the first time through the batting order, really being effective with the fastball.
So our Toyota game summary as we move to the 7th inning. 3-0 in favor of the Washington Nationals. Meanwhile, Matt Garza is still on the mound. His pitch count is in good shape, and he's trying to hang in there long enough for the Brewers to get their offense back intact. Garza will face Jose Lobaton to start it. Nationals at the bottom of their order. Lobaton in the pitcher spot due next. And it looks like Greg Dobbs will hit next, coming off the bench. And then they'll go back to the top. So 8, 9, and 1 coming up. And it'll be a key inning for Garza to try to get the Brewers back to the dugout, still down 3, as Lobaton, a big swing and a miss. The former Tampa Bay Ray, Jose Lobaton, hit one of the biggest home runs in Rays history last year in the playoffs. Hit a walk-off home run against Koji Uehara of the Red Sox. That was in Game 3 of the American League Division Series. Hit a walk-off homer. Red Sox would win the next game and eliminate the Tampa Bay Rays, but Lobaton had his moment. He knocked it into the Stingray tank out there. Rays traded him to Washington this past offseason. 1-2 the count. That ball's hit hard left field. Davis on the run, and he'll run it down just shy of the track.
Hey, that brings us to tonight's time of the game winners. The MT Bar in Waterloo, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends at Miller Lite.
Never a bad day to hang out in a tavern in Waterloo.
That's in Jefferson County.
Oh, it's nice. Not too far from here.
No,
just a conversation away. Here's Greg Dobbs pinch hitting for Washington. Closed the book on Gio Gonzalez. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He walked 4, struck out 5. And just his second start back after a shoulder injury, he pitched very well. Say hey to our buddies from the old 97s watching the broadcast tonight. Big Brewers fans. Great band. Our buddy Red Miller. Entertaining the masses in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Got Summerfest in a couple of days. Great music scene here over the next couple of weeks in Milwaukee. We wish all of our friends over at Summerfest the best of luck. Hope they have a great run over 11 days. Great music.
Got some fireworks coming up. There's some fireworks on Wednesday, July 3rd. I'll be down there for some fireworks on Wednesday. You're coming down, right?
I'm coming down. Kate Schroeder's birthday. Big fireworks extravaganza for her birthday.
I set it up for her birthday.
Big league. Can't top that, man. Nice going. I mean, right down there on the Summerfest grounds. And just think, all the Summerfest people are going to get to enjoy the fireworks as well for Kate's birthday.
See that?
It's well done. Great time to be alive in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's summer. Hopefully the sun will be out tomorrow. 2-2 to Dobbs. He's hanging tough. Dobbs traded from the Marlins to the Nationals. Made a name for himself with the Phillies. One of the great pinch hitters during those division title teams of the Phillies. Broke his bat. Ricky Weeks will scoop it up, and Dobbs is out. And Garza has 2 gone in the 7th. Well, as promised earlier in the broadcast, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Don't forget to use the hashtag WisFanPhoto. This comes from Kelly. Which one's Kelly, you think?
I don't know. I'm afraid to say.
Could go either way. We're glad to have you part of it, Kelly. Thanks for playing along. Top of the order, Denard Span. Span's been aggressive in the count against Garza. Hadn't seen many pitches here tonight. Flew out to deep right. Braun made a leaping catch up against the wall in the 3rd. And then flew out to left his last time up. Garza struck him out in the 1st inning. That's how the game began. Pitch number 100 for Garza. In there.
He's been terrific tonight. He's one of his better starts. Unfortunately, he gave up the 3 runs. Walk, hit, home run. That's all there's been offensively for either team tonight.
Augie talked about how efficient he's been since that home run. He's only given up 1 infield hit since LaRoche went deep in the 3rd. His spot is due up 3rd in the bottom of the 7th inning. So his last frame Gonzalez shutting the Brewers out through the first 7, or through the first 6, I should say. 2-2 to Span. Washington's manager Matt Williams ejected after the top of the 2nd. Randy Knorr, the bench coach, running the show. Steve McCatty, the pitching coach. I'm sure Matt Williams is making his wishes known in that dugout somehow. Telepathic communication, perhaps.
Just open the door and yell. As long as they don't see you on the field, umpires don't see you.
Or he could put a fake mustache on and some sunglasses, like Bobby Valentine did. I'm sure they wouldn't recognize him. Garza trying to finish up strong here. Full count to Span. And a bouncer. Reynolds plays it. He'll take it himself, and that will retire the side. So Garza most likely out. And now the Brewers coming up, bottom of the order, down 3. Produced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Aaron Barrett is the next hurler for the Nationals. Gonzalez is out after 6 shutout innings.
Statistically, the best bullpen in all the National League. These Washington Nationals relievers, these guys have been outstanding this year. And Barrett with the 182 earned run average. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a reliever coming out of that bullpen with an earned run average over 3 right now.
As stingy as it gets. Mark Reynolds will lead off. The way to the finish line for Washington when they have the lead is typically Drew Storen in the 7th. They go Tyler Clippard in the 8th. And then their closer is Rafael Soriano. And all of them have minuscule earned run averages.
Yeah, the Nationals bullpen, the best in all of baseball, not just the National League. They're posting a 2.50 earned run average.
It's Clippard beginning to get loose. So the Brewers have their work cut out for them tonight. Mark Reynolds lashing away at the first pitch. I think what's interesting about the makeup of the Nationals bullpen, their late inning relief, is the fact they have 3 guys who have all had a lot of success closing games. Soriano's their closer now at 43 saves last year. But Clippard has had success as a closer. Storen Had 43 saves in 2011. So it's the best ERA going right now, with basically 3 closers for the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. And so you say to yourself, well, you better get this guy Barrett before you get into that. And he's got a 1.82 ERA.
Right. Yeah. Good luck to you, right? Well, the Brewers have been good with a flair for the dramatic late in ball games. Let's see what they can do against this bullpen.
1-2 to Reynolds. Down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mark Reynolds, who walked and stole a base his last time up. Two and two. Barrett deals. Reynolds fights it off. A knuckle buster. And he got him inside corner with a breaking ball. Buckled the knees of Reynolds, and a strikeout for Barrett. 1 away in the 7th. Well, the Brewers have pushed it a couple of times with stolen bases. Our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. Segura stole third back in the 3rd inning. That put a runner at 3rd and only 1 out. They couldn't score. And then Reynolds swiped second base in the 4th. But the Brewers stranded him at 3rd base in the 4th. 6 left on for Milwaukee. Good pitching makes a lineup look sluggish.
Yes, it does. And big contrast in styles here as well. Soft throwing Gio Gonzalez, left-hander, change-ups, curveballs, and you get the power pitcher coming in from the right side.
Well, that is a nasty slider by Aaron Barrett, and he's got Segura in a hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Elian Herrera will hit next in Garza's spot. Segura singled in the 3rd inning. You saw a stolen base. Batting for just the 3rd time here. He popped up to 2nd with a runner at 3rd in the 4th inning. And he fouls that one off. Count remains at 1-2. An all-star last year, Segura, in his first full season in the big leagues. Has not had the same kind of year offensively. He's been every bit as good defensively as he was last year, but not hitting for the average and the power this season as he did last year. And he's out on strikes. That is a wipeout breaking ball.
Yes, it is. Good slider. And 93, 94 with a fastball. Then he'll drop this thing on you right here. Good tilt on it. Going down and away out of the strike zone.
So Barrett with back-to-back Ks. Elian Herrera announced as the pinch hitter. That'll close the book on Garza. 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and all on 1 swing of Adam LaRoche's bat. Herrera finished the game in right field yesterday. Ryan Braun came out with an ankle injury. Braun back in the lineup tonight. Herrera got a couple of starts in the outfield in Arizona. And the Brewers won both of his starts as he pops this one up. Desmond is back. Coming in Zimmerman. He'll call it. And he's got it. And a 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Barrett. Shutout still intact for the Nationals.
He's gonna hit. We're gonna.
He's gonna hit with this.
Yeah, and whoever hit the ball farther is $500.
$500?
Yeah, he think he's gonna hit the ball farther than me.
With this bat.
Okay.
I think you're down it.
I think that's a waste of $500 right there.
Thank you. Thank you for the donation.
Carlos Gomez kind enough to wear the microphone for us before the game. Well, he's always in great spirits. Gomez, full of energy, and he was kind enough to, cooperate today in English. Normally he's barking in Spanish to everyone.
Right. Who won the money?
That was only for recreational purposes.
Entertainment.
Yes.
Only. Of course, $500 isn't a whole lot for these guys. I mean, I could see it happening.
Scooter knew he couldn't do it anyway. Mike Fiers is out of the bullpen for the Brewers. Been a while since he's pitched. So Fiers enters the game for Matt Garza, just his third appearance in the big leagues this year. After a stellar beginning in AAA. A starting pitcher at AAA Nashville, actually led the PCL in strikeouts down there at the time of his call-up. Anthony Rendon will lead off. Garza goes 7 innings, 3 earned runs. He's on the hook for the loss. Stymied by the Nationals pitching today, the Brewers offense.
Well, mark out another quality start for Matt Garza. Now that's 6 in a row. 3 runs, 7 innings. Good start for him. Ordinarily, with the way this Brewers offense has been the last 3 weeks, that's good enough to get a win. He's hoping for a no decision. Maybe the Brewers could get something going in the next couple innings.
It's been a while for Fiers. He did not pitch on the road trip. Hasn't pitched in a game since the 15th of June. That was against the Reds. That was his line against Cincinnati. Just the 1 inning. He did get up a couple of times on the road trip, but never got in a game. That's how good the Brewers were going in that road trip as Rendon turns on that one. Davis back at the wall, and he's got it for the out.
Yep, good to be home, isn't it?
So one gone. Certainly a homer at Coors Field. That stays in the park at Miller Park. As we check in with Sophia, the Brewers carrying 8 relievers and probably some decisions to be made here shortly, huh?
Yeah, Brian, Ron Renneke said before the game there was a conversation with Doug Melvin earlier this morning about getting back to a 5-man bench, and he said, well, it's nice to have an 8-man bullpen right now, to have that extra arm in there, especially with Thornburg and Henderson on the disabled list. He said it definitely allows you to make more moves. We saw a lot of that in the Colorado series, but looking to get back to the 5-man bench and eyeing the schedule, he said it does help to have the 2 off days next week, Monday and Thursday, sandwiched around that Toronto series, but looking at possibly making some changes next week.
And basically, you're talking about a 5-man bench only exists when you have a 7-man bullpen. Right now, the Brewers have 8 in their bullpen, which means there's only 4 on the bench. And Renneke's a little bit tied up with the bench players because you have a platoon at first, a platoon at second. So it will be interesting to see how they go here. And I'm sure Mike Fiers is looking over his shoulder, knowing that he needs the work. He's been a starter. He's a starter in waiting. Part of the depth the Brewers talk about. He's been a very good starter in AAA, and I wouldn't imagine the Brewers would want to go too long without him pitching in a game.
Right.
Big topic of discussion. There's not much to discuss right now with the Brewers by way of problems, but that's a good problem to have.
And again, you know, the Brewers are carrying 4 left-handed pitchers in their bullpen, and that's highly unusual. Gorzolani down there, the Brewers have only used him once. Wei Chung Wong, the Rule 5 kid. That bullpen's been good, though.
Well, you go to an 8-man bullpen thinking you're going to Arizona and Colorado, and you're going to need all hands on deck. Fiers and Wong did not pitch on the road trip, not once. Gorzolani got a third of an inning at the end of a game on the road trip.
Yep.
Basically 3 pitchers that you didn't even use and didn't need them. The Brewers went 6-1 on that road trip.
Yeah, Gorzolani's actually been in 2 games. I forgot about that 1 out.
Right.
It's been two appearances. He's looked relatively healthy when he's come into the ball game.
Full count to Jason Worth. 2 hits tonight. He's 2 for 3. And he lines that one, his 3rd hit of the night. So much for a slump. Worth had come in a mighty slump, just 2 for his last 24 to start it. He has 3 hits tonight in 4 at-bats and a base runner with 1 out in the 8th.
Hey, start your weekend early this Friday and head to Miller Park for tailgating and a T-shirt. All fans at Miller Park can see the Brewers face off against the Rockies. We'll get a free Brewers T-shirt courtesy of Master Printwear. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com today.
Here's Adam LaRoche. LaRoche with 2 hits tonight. The Nats have 6 hits. And between Worth and LaRoche, 5 of the 6. The 3 and 4 hitters of the Nationals. LaRoche responsible for all 3 runs on the board in this game. Went down and drilled one at the bottom of the zone, and he knocked it off the batter's eye in center field. His 9th homer of the year. It was a 3-run home run with 1 out in the 3rd inning. That's been it by way of scoring tonight. Kind of a ho-hum game other than that.
Yeah, Garza fell behind him 3-0, able to get the count to full, and that's when LaRoche hit his home run.
Had 11 seasons in the big leagues. LaRoche has been one of their top run producers. He's third on the club now in RBIs. LaRoche twice has had triple-digit RBI seasons. Once with the Diamondbacks, and then had a 100 RBI year with Washington in 2012. That was a year they made it to the postseason. That was the year LaRoche not only won the Gold Glove, but won the Silver Slugger Award as well. Best hitting first baseman in the NL. I got a feeling Paul Goldschmidt's going to own that award for the next few years at this point.
He's pretty good, isn't he? Can hit, has a pretty good glove. There's a pretty good fielding first baseman in baseball.
Fiers trying to keep it at 3-0. Got a dangerous hitter at the plate. In there with a strike. Fiers does it with deception. It's not overpowering, but he gets a lot of strikeouts. Very unorthodox delivery from Mike Fiers.
And that's one of the reasons why you can get that fastball by hitters, you know, in the upper 80s, low 90s. As long as he's able to get the curveball and the changeup over for strikes. And as Jerry Augustine would say, work ahead in the count.
Well, he loses LaRoche. 2 on with 1 away. And that'll bring up Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman is hitless tonight, 0 for 2. Walked in the second inning against Garza. Got to be tough for Fiers to be in this routine of pitching every 5th day in AAA and you know, pitching 6, 7, 8 innings as a starter. No question he's happy to be in the big leagues, but to sit for 8 days can't be easy to keep your feel of all the pitches, especially for a field pitcher like Fiers is.
Yeah, it's never easy for anybody, but when you rely on, you know, touch and feel, keep the ball down, hit the corners, it's very difficult. You can throw side sessions all you want, but you don't get into a game, it becomes tough.
Well, Fiers typically a fly ball pitcher, could use a ground ball here. The Brewers would love to turn 2 and get this thing to the bottom of the 8th. Two and 1 on Zimmerman, the left fielder for the time being for Washington until Bryce Harper comes back. Harper had a torn ligament on his thumb.
It seems like the defense for the Nationals has been very good with Rondon at third base. He's made a couple of nice plays tonight.
There's a bouncer. Segura makes the play, goes to second for 1, Weeks the turn in time, and a double play. And just like that, Fiers able to get out of the inning. See if the Brewers can rattle up the bats. They're down 3-0. Maybe a defensive gem will get them going. We head to the bottom of the 8th.
to go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Matt Garza really doing his part. Was Houdini in the second. Couldn't get out of the 3rd inning, though, giving up that home run. And then after that, he was untouchable, Augie.
Yeah, he was. He tried 14 out of 15 hitters. And, you know, the one thing we've seen out of him the last 3 or 4 starts, he's had some very good pace and rhythm. That means he's throwing strikes, pitching to contact. And I'm going to tell you what, his breaking ball has been very good. The only problem he had, he hung a little breaking ball to the first baseman. He was able to drive it out of the ballpark.
6 straight quality starts for Garza. That ties a single-season career high for the Brewers starter. But right now, on the hook for the loss unless Ricky Weeks and the Brew Crew can get things going. We'll review this game plus all-star voting as well. Brewers moving up on Brewers Live postgame, Brian.
All right, Craig and Augie, thank you. Looking forward to Brewers Live. Hopefully it's a good news Brewers Live. So it'll be Drew Storen here, Rock, to pitch the 8th inning. Hasn't pitched in 3 days. And on the mound to try to protect a 3-0 lead for the Nats.
He's always been a big strikeout pitcher. 2-1 this year and a 1.16 earned run average. Averaging almost a strikeout per innings pitch. Fastball breaking pitch, basically a 2-pitch pitcher, but he can bring it pretty good.
And a shattered bat by Weeks. Takes a funny spin. Nice barehanded play by Espinoza. And it turns into an easy out, but that was a heck of a play on a ball that had a little English on it.
Yes, it did. Took a funny hop on that bounce, but Espinoza able to grab it with the bare hand. Not trying to show off. That was just the way he had to play it.
1 pitch, 1 out. And here comes Ryan Braun. Batting for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3. Well, Ryan Braun has 10 of the 81 home runs for the Brewers this season. Brewers have 5 players in double digits in homers. Powerball home run count at 81 for Milwaukee, second to the Colorado Rockies in the National League. 1 out. And Braun takes a strike on the inside corner. Yesterday in Washington's win, Matt Williams used Craig Stammen, Tyler Clippard, and Rafael Soriano to get to the end. In a victory over the Atlanta Braves. They won back-to-back games over Atlanta. Storen hasn't pitched since Friday. Ground ball to Desmond. And a low throw dug out by the Gold Glover LaRoche. 2 outs.
You see that breaking ball from Storen. Not much of a break, but very late, very sharp, and keeps it down.
Brewers are going quietly so far today. Still have 4 outs to work with. But the Nationals pitching has kept them down. Only 3 hits tonight. This is coming off a road trip where the Brewers averaged in 7 games about 7.3 runs per game. They hit .296 as a team in those 7 games and 11 homers. That was the road trip. That was a big one. Pushing the Brewers record to 17 games over 500. That is just a monster offensive trip. You knew it'd be that way. I mean, you knew there were going to be runs scored going to Arizona and Colorado.
Not that many.
But not to this extent. And actually a team ERA during that stretch just over 4 is not bad when you consider the 2 hitter friendly venues. And remember, in Arizona in the 4-game series, the roof was open for 3 of those games. The ball was just flying out of the ballpark.
Yep, and Brewers gave up 10 runs in the first game in Colorado. Picked up a win.
Lucroy had the biggest hit of them all on the road trip. A grand slam that brought the Brewers back, put them in the lead after they intentionally hit Braun. That was the moment. That's going to be one of the moments of the year when you look back on this season.
That would have been the big money moment for me in Arizona.
The Menards big money moment.
Yeah.
But you didn't do it on the road.
We have one tonight.
Well, you might have to bring it back. What's your big money moment at this point? Are you still waiting for one?
Maybe when Gio Gonzalez was warming up.
When he stepped on the mound, right?
At least that's the way it's been so far. There's still some time left. Big money moment had to happen, hopefully.
Former closer Drew Storen. Normally he's the 7th inning guy. He's working in the 8th tonight. Looks like Clippard is down. 2-2. Count goes full. Boy, Lucroy has seen a ton of pitches tonight. Had an 11 pitch at bat against Gonzalez in the 3rd. Anything to get this crowd going a little bit. Nationals pitching has kept them in their seats and quiet. Full count, 2 outs. Right back to the mound. Storen will underhand it to first. 3 up, 3 down. And the Nationals bullpen has retired 6 in a row. We go to the 9th, still 3-0. As we go to the 9th inning, Brewers being shut out on a 3-hitter thus far. 3 different pitchers. Now last inning, 2 on, 1 out. How about this double play? Started by Segura, turned by Weeks. 6-4-3, the Southwest Airlines non-stoppable play. It's been one of the few bright spots tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers. Not a whole lot going on. Excellent pitching by the Nats. And a former Washington National, Tom Gorzolani, is on the mound. Just his 3rd appearance. Spent the good portion of the season on the disabled list with a shoulder injury. Had shoulder surgery last year. And Gorzolani pitched just 1 out on the road trip. Will get the 9th inning trying to keep the Nats at 3.
Yeah, Gorzolani started the year on the disabled list and took a while to come back. Didn't think it was going to take that long, but made some rehab appearances, did pretty well, and making his 3rd appearance, trying to get back into the wheel in that bullpen for Ron Renneke. Always important innings for guys trying to come back from injury.
And especially a shoulder injury. Those can be tricky. Gorzolani says he is pitching pain-free for the first time in a while. Got to change a lot of that muscle memory. You know, he was pitching with tightness in that shoulder for a couple of years before finally succumbing to surgery. Went through a pretty extensive minor league rehab to get back to the big leagues. And he knows he's a veteran. He knows where he is, and he knows he's pitching on a contending team, and he's going to have to earn his spot in that bullpen.
Yeah, valuable guy. Remember last year, made some starts. He was effective out of the bullpen, and just has to prove that he's going to be able to stay healthy.
Orsolani made a few starts last year with the Brewers. Nationals used him in that role as well 2 seasons ago. Brewers signed him to a 2-year deal prior to last season. And he was happy to be a Brewer. He's from Iowa City, still lives there. So just about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from his home. Matt Garza started, went 7 innings tonight, 3 earned runs. Fires working a scoreless 8th, got the double play ball to end it. And now Gorzelani and a bouncing ball, and they had Desmond played the pull, and that's a base hit. So 2 hits for Desmond, 3 hits for Jason Worth, the 2 struggling hitters in this lineup. Here's good news, Rock. America's favorite ballpark pup is making an encore appearance tomorrow.
It is dirty. It's from his paws.
They've officially named him Hank the ballpark pup. He goes by Pup. Returns to the big stage tomorrow. Brewers take on the Nats, 7:10 p.m. Hank's return will come in the bottom of the 5th inning. The field level concourse in the right field corner. He's got his very own Hank house going. You can make a voluntary donation to the Wisconsin Humane Society during the appearance. So he doesn't just show up for any old reason. He's out here for a good cause. A lot like when you make appearances.
He hasn't been out that much, has he?
That little surgery right after spring training got him a little gun shy, if you know what I mean.
Needs to be a doghouse out there.
Yeah, well, that doghouse moves around. It'll be here. It'll be back.
Does it?
Tomorrow. We'll get it up here in the booth at some point.
Hank going to stop by? Can you see that? Can you make that happen?
I think you were the last face that Hank saw before he went under the knife. So he's got some bad memories going on. He barks at you a lot when he sees you on television.
That's not true.
Does a lot of growling.
Dogs like me, man.
They do. Dogs, children, human beings in general.
They know a good person when they see him.
The man of the people.
You know, dogs can tell if you're not a good person. They know.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You got that sense. They start growling.
Wow.
Stay away.
I got a few scars on my ankles and calves.
From Otis?
I got a few other things on my feet from Otis.
I trained Otis, you know.
Oh, did you? Trained him to do what?
Attack you.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding.
I thought Otis was America's favorite ballpark pup, but Hank has taken over. That'd be Bill's dachshund.
Old Otis getting old.
Yeah, either his legs are getting shorter or his belly is getting bigger because he's getting closer to the
I
ground.
know his belly's getting bigger. He doesn't move around much these days.
Especially in the wintertime. Espinoza swing and a miss. Gorzelani goes with a breaking ball.
Yep, down and in. Good pitch by Gorzelani. There's a slider. You can see him get on the side of it. Good rotation. Down and in. And you get Espinoza out over the top of it.
So 1 away. And here is Jose Lobaton. Switch hitter. Turns around, hits right-handed against Gorzolani. So maybe it's Soriano who's down tonight, not Clippard. Clippard is getting loose. And you would imagine if the Nationals score a run or two here, it would be the lefty Blevins. There goes Desmond. And no throw. Got a great jump. Lucroy didn't bother. Stolen base for Ian Desmond. Number 6.
It's been a rough few days for Jonathan Lucroy trying to throw out base runners. The Rockies got great jumps. He had a couple of throws in yesterday's ball game that should have been outs that weren't. Balls dropped at second base. And that time Gorzolani paid no attention to Desmond over at first.
That's why caught stealing arguments, you have to really pull the curtain back on those.
Yeah, Lucroy should have had 3 yesterday.
Yep. And the pitching staff not doing a great job holding runners. Some guys don't make it a focus. You know, Greg Maddux never did. He never bothered with trying to hold runners or I mean, he'd throw over and he would hold the ball, but he was okay allowing a stolen base here or there.
Yeah, but there aren't too many Greg Maddux out there.
He had minimal base runners as it was.
Right. He felt as though you split your attention between the runner and the hitter. You're doing yourself a disservice. And there's a point that I agree with him. You got to pay attention a little bit to the runner, but not too much. Hitter can hurt you a lot more than the base runner.
And that's why in every statistical breakdown, caught stealing percentage goes on the catcher's line. But it's really hardly the case. It's a combination. You have to have a good arm, obviously. You got to be able to throw out base runners, but a lot of it has to do with the pitchers and their times to home plate. Fly ball to Braun. He's got it for the out. Desmond will tag. And Braun's throw is cut off. He ends up at third, but 2 men are out. And that'll take us into the Nationals bench. Looks like Scott Hairston is coming out to pinch hit. He will pinch hit for Drew Storen. Younger brother of Jerry Hairston, who retired. Jerry was a big part of the Brewers' success in 11. Man, what an impact he made in that division winning season.
And a guy that could play anywhere.
He ended up, Jerry, at third base, but played center field, second base. Very versatile piece. The Brewers are looking for one of those pieces right now. We're going to start getting into the buyers and sellers discussion probably as we get into the month of July. The Brewers are already searching, looking for pieces to help the ball club.
Not a whole lot the Brewers feel as though they need at this point, but strengthening that bench might be one area. But the one area that they can improve on is maybe have an extra guy on that bench, as opposed to having 8 relievers.
2 balls and a strike on Scott Hairston. In the air to right. Braun runs toward the line with room. He's got it. Gorzolani puts up a 0. All right, last call here for the Brewers. They need 3 to tie, 4 to win it. Gomez will bat.
Here's Gomez reaching up, and he caught it. That is gone. It is way gone.
Brewers could use a few of those swings here. Gomez will lead off. Moved into third place in the All-Star voting among National League outfielders. That'll get him a starting nod at the All-Star game. Keep it up, though. You have till July 3rd to continue to vote. Brewers.com. And Gomez moving up to third, 2.4 million votes. Segura moving up to second. Lucroy passed Buster Posey in the second. And Aramis Ramirez, an all-star starter at this point. Boy, the Brewers fans making their voices and their votes count. Surging up the leaderboard. Keep at it.
And got a week of home games to be able to vote at the ballpark. As Tyler Clippard takes over, a 2.18 earned run average. Clippard with a fastball, very good changeup. 37th appearance and a 218 earned run average. Look at the strikeout totals for Clippard. 42 strikeouts, 33 innings of work.
So Clippard will get the save opportunity and not Rafael Soriano. Soriano has all 17 of Washington's saves this season. And we were wondering who was going to be down here today in that bullpen. You figured with Barrett getting the 7th inning, Storen getting the 8th, somebody was missing from that puzzle, and turns out it's Soriano.
And Clippard, a former closer. He's been there before.
And Gomez is quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Last time Clippard picked up a save was back in September of 2012. But it's been a while for him.
Clippard had 32 saves that season. That was the year Storen was hurt. Storen had saved 43 the year before. Washington thought they had their closer, and then Storen got hurt. Clippard ended up in that role. And remember, Rock, when the Brewers were in Washington in 2012, they hung a blown save on Clippard, and that was his last day as the closer that year. Little cue shot foul. Gomez's hitting streak and on base streak is in jeopardy right here. 18-game hitting streak, 35-game on base streak, but he is 0 for 3 tonight. And he's down in the count, 0-2.
He got that change up, but he can rush that fastball up at about 93. That's what he was able to put behind that last one. Change up's down, fastball's up.
One ball, 2 strikes. Gomez takes upstairs, 2-2 the count. Now the Brewers are in the heart of their order. If they can get a couple of men on base, you've got some power hitters that could tie it up with one swing of the bat, but need base runners first. In the dirt on the foul ball. Gomez stays alive.
You see the changeup grip, and Gomez able to get a piece of it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Count remains at 2-2. The Washington pitching staff ended a long hitting streak of Evan Gattis yesterday. That ended at 20 games. Gomez at 18. 2-2. Down and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Gomez. Here comes a payoff pitch. Not a big swing. Not exactly a 2-strike approach.
He got a fastball up in the zone down the middle. Carlos smelling the bat to see where he made contact.
We'll do it again. Another 3-2. And Gomez pops this one foul. Well, he's battling up there. Gio Gonzalez in line for the win. He went 6 shutout innings tonight in just his second start, returning from the DL with a shoulder injury. Barrett a scoreless 7th, retired the side in order. Drew Storen worked a scoreless 8th, retiring the side in order. Now Clippard. And he got him. Gomez strikes out.
They got him with a high fastball, 92 miles an hour.
And barring a rally and extra innings, the streaks will come to an end for Carlos Gomez.
You see four-seamer up in the zone and right by Carlos. And Storen thinking to himself, I'm not going to walk anybody. I'm going to make him hit his way on.
Here's Aramis Ramirez. Now Ramirez coming off that great road trip. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. The Brewers have not been shut out since May 31st. Been shut out 6 times this season. One of the better hitting teams in the league. And Ramirez down on strike. So Clippard back-to-back Ks. Gets Gomez and Ramirez. Don't forget, we're back at it tomorrow. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Jordan Zimmermann against Giovanni Gallardo. 6:30 is airtime for Brewers Live. And first pitch right after the 7 o'clock hour. Gallardo now 5-4 and starting to look like the opening day starter once again. He got a win on Thursday against Arizona. He was sharp. 7 innings, just 1 earned run. 2-0 and an ERA under 1 his last 3 starts. Giovanni Gallardo.
And he's been his curveball's been pretty good his last handful of starts. That's been the difference for Yo. Throwing it for strikes early in the count and then the put away pitch. Not walking batters. That's the key to Giovanni and being able to pitch deep into the ball game.
He'll have his hands full tomorrow with Jordan Zimmermann, who can be as electric as anyone in the league when he's right. He's been right a lot against the team he grew up cheering for, the Brewers. Chris Davis, the last hope, trying to keep this game alive. 2-0 on Davis. 2-1. Two and two. The Crew has not had a base runner since the 6th inning. That was a walk to Ramirez, and then Gio Gonzalez immediately got a ground ball double play to win the inning. That was on Davis. Davis is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball on the ground all 3 times. 2-2 with 2 away. Count stays at 2-2. Last hit for the Brewers, Ryan Braun's double in the 5th. And just 3 hits tonight. A dominant performance by the Nationals pitching staff to this point. And that'll do it. Clippard strikes out the side and collects his first save since 2012, and the Brewers shut out for just the 7th time this year. It was one swing of the bat by Adam LaRoche, the difference. 3-run home run off Garza in the 3rd. 3-0 Nats. Gonzalez beats Garza. Clippard the save, and that'll set us up for Brewers Live as we send it out to Craig Kashan. Jerry Augustine, what do you have coming up for us, Craig?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to look at Matt Garza's night. Not a bad night for him for sure, but BA, you're right. The one swing of the bat does the trick for Washington as Gio Gonzalez settles down. A pretty hot hitting ball club. Brewers Live is on the way.